everyone. Welcome to South Kitsap High School. We're happy you could join us here for this home opener of the 2008 high school football season between the South Kitsap Wolves and the Stadium Tigers. And joining me again in the booth, this is DB coming back to you live from South Kitsap. And joining me in the booth tonight is D-Rod, David Rodriguez. And D-Rod, thanks for being back here in the booth.
DB, thanks for having me, and we'd also like to thank the South Kitsap High School Video Production Department for having us again for another exciting season of South Kitsap Wolves football as we're ready for the kickoff. And it should be a good one here on a beautiful evening here at Joe Knowles Field in Port Orchard, Washington.
A beautiful evening here, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures. It's about the low 70s to the high 60s, in which we are going to have a great football matchup. South Kitsap is looking to get back on the winning track here after a nice season last year, making it to the quarterfinals. The stadium is set to kick off. They're going to kick it off to number 83. That's Brad Fairweather back at the 10-yard line. He fields the ball. He makes a cut back up the middle. He's met by a bunch of Tigers right there near the 30-yard line. And the Wolves are off to a good start, a nice kickoff return. And the Wolves are going to have pretty good field position just past, right at their own 30-yard line. So a nice return by the Wolves to start the season.
And Brad Fairweather will be starting also at tight end for the Wolves tonight, and he'll probably be seeing more of the ball than just the kickoff return. As the Wolves come out set up in their patented smash mouth offense.
South Kitsap coming out, starting quarterback is the junior Gordy Anderson, starting in number 15 here as the Wolves come out in that traditional power I formation. They're going to involve Sean Allison, and Sean Allison takes the ball straight off left guard. He buries his way forward for about a gain of 5. It'll be second and 5. So South Kitsap looking to come out running the ball as they usually do.
No surprise there as South just running up the get immediately, going right off tackle left and going for 5 quick yards. If you're Stadium, you're going to have to watch out for that. One other thing for Stadium is that Gordy Anderson can throw the ball.
The Wolves have some pretty good skill players this year. They're a threat from the outside and the inside. As Anderson looks, he's going to throw a little floater, and he has Leon Ladeau, and just a little bit overthrown there. His first start at quarterback for Gordy Anderson. The pass is incomplete, but it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Wolves. But you know that the young man is just a little bit nervous, and he'll settle down pretty quick.
Yeah, we're not too worried about Gordy. He's a cool customer, and he, number 15, Gordy Anderson, and number 9, Leon Ladeau, have been connecting both ends of the football as quarterback and receiver since junior high school at John Sedgwick here in Port Orchard.
Jared Moore and Leon Ladeau split at the wide receivers. They're faking the blitz, and they're going to hand the ball straight up to Allison. He cuts up, and he's hit by number 26, but it looks like he will have the first down. I believe he got down to the 41-yard line. So nice run by Allison.
Nothing shocking once again as South just says, well, pass run, we're going to get the first down, 6 cool yards on 3rd and 5, and first down, move the chains. That's the goal here at South Kitsap, is move those chains, keep the defense on the field, and keep the machine rolling.
South Kitsap with a first down here, a couple of runs and a pass, and Ryan Williams is also in there, playing a little bit of fullback as well. So the Wolves have a threat at just about every position. They're going to have the ball straight up the wing, right up the middle. He makes a cut, and he's tripped up just past the midfield. And if Williams didn't get tripped up right there, it looked like he could have gone in for the score.
Number 34, Ryan Williams, with just a draw play right up the gut, taking the Stadium Tigers by surprise. Those defensive linemen just blocked off immediately, and boy, he's right up the middle for another South Kitsap first down. The recipe for success here: keep it on the ground and throw when the opportunity presents itself at South Kitsap.
Sean Allison and Ryan Williams doing the bulk of the carrying for the Wolves in the running game at tailback, and they're going to both be a threat this year. They're going to have their opponents are going to have a tough time taking those two guys down, and just like we saw right there, Williams came in at the fullback position and got the handoff and went straight up the middle. So first down for the Wolves as Anderson comes under center. They're in the I formation. He had a little 3-step drop, and he's got Leon Ladeau. And the ball is just tipped away at the 40-yard line. The pass is incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Wolves.
Number 7 for the Stadium Tigers, Deshaun Dixon, getting a little excited there, doing the old college/pro foot stomp. Doesn't want to do too much of that early on. Number 9, Leon Ladeau, burning for a TD, and they don't celebrate much. They just score. So Stadium needs to keep it in check here in the first half of the game. Otherwise, it could get to be a runaway. We'll see what happens here.
TJ Rhodes, number 4 for the Wolves, in at fullback. Allison is the tailback. They're going to hand the ball off to a counter. That's actually number 33, Robert Issa, who's going to take the carry. He was met in the backfield, but he was able to scoot forward for a gain of about 3 or 4. And nice job there by the Wolves. So they've got a plethora of running backs that are a threat to the defense for Stadium.
On the tackle, Zach Scott.
That's a nice defensive play from Stadium the last 2 plays in a row. Good play out in the flat from number 7, Deshaun Dixon. A nice tackle there from the front line of the Stadium Tigers defensive line. Nice tackle.
This time Moore and Ladeau split to the near side of the field in the slot formation. They're going to pitch the ball out to Williams this time. He gets a nice block. He stiff arms the man. He gets to the outside, but he's going to run out of bounds. The referee calls him out of bounds at the Stadium 29-yard line, but not until he gets a first down. So another nice run for Ryan Williams.
Well, South Kitsap doing a great job of keeping it on the ground once again. And outside contain Stadium there. They were there, but good blocking as usual from South Kitsap Wolves provides the opportunity for Ryan Williams to scamper up the right sideline for that first down. That's 4 first downs, I believe, for the Wolves here in the opening possession.
Wolves come out. This time Ryan Williams is in the tailback position again, splitting the time with Sean Allison. Anderson's under center. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to roll to his left. He's got a man open. That's Brad Fairweather at the 20-yard line. Makes a catch, and he gets all the way down to the 10-yard line. We'll see where he steps him out, and he's going to mark him out. He was pushed out at the 11-yard line. Nice pass from Gordy Anderson to Brad Fairweather for the first down.
Well, that's a nice little rollout bootleg. Looked like they've done that 1,000 times. Brad Fairweather sure has come a long way since his younger days here at South Kitsap football, and he looks like he's very comfortable out there catching passes from Gordy Anderson.
Well, Papa Fairweather's got to be happy with that catch and reception, as number 7, Melvin Austin, is now in Austin Melvin is now in the game. And the Wolves are in the red zone, which they are very effective, and the Tigers are showing a blitz right up the middle. Anderson holds his cool. They're still going to run the play. They get the ball to Allison. He sidesteps off tackle, but he's tripped up. Not until he gets inside the 10. They're going to mark it down at the 8-yard line. It'll be second down for the Wolves. They can still get a first down, but they have to get down to the 1-yard line.
Little nuances of the game. When a team steps up into the box like that, shows blitz. A lot of offensive lines will jump off sides. South Kitsap showing a lot of discipline there, just holding in the trench, waiting for the snap and running the play. No matter what happens, do what the coach says.
Anderson did a nice job there showing his composure with the blitz looking like it was going to happen, and he just held his composure, did a great job. Anderson looks like another blitz straight up the middle. They're going to hand the ball off to Allison, and he counters. He puts his head down. He gets past the 5. Nice tackle there by number 26, Denzel Martin, the 5'10 senior for Stadium. But Allison still gets down to the 4. It's going to be third down and 3 yards to go for the Wolves.
So far, one thing I've noticed with the Wolves is good blocking on all sides, all aspects of the game so far, all parts of the field, providing for big gains in the run and the pass so far.
Little mix-up in the backfield. Looks like they're missing a player out there, and I think that the Wolves are going to call timeout. They are. Traditionally in this position, South Kitsap usually goes to that power I formation, and it looked like they were maybe short of players, so South Kitsap burns their first timeout of the game with 8:18 left in the first quarter. South Kitsap and Stadium tied at 0, but the Wolves are knocking on the door at the Stadium 4-yard line.
Well, the Wolves looking very, not just pretty, but very proficient here with their offensive schemes. Stadium, if you're a defensive coordinator or coach for the Stadium Tigers, right now you're scratching your head and maybe considering throwing out the book, starting from scratch, making game time adjustments. Not something you really want to do, but when the South Kitsap Wolves are running up and down the field on you, you can just hope at this point that maybe your offense can compensate for some of that. Maybe it'll turn into a shootout.
And South Kitsap showing that patented discipline on offense by ball control, doing a nice job, not losing their composure. Stadium throwing a couple of blitzes at them, or at least showing the blitz, but South Kitsap doing a nice job of executing on offense. So the Wolves are going to come out in that power I formation. Sean Allison is the tailback.
Number 9, Leon Ladeau on number 7, Dixon, one-on-one on the right side.
Gordy, and he's hit hard right at the 5-yard line. He gets nowhere. Nice hit there by number 3. That's Nate Jenkins for Stadium.
And they're going to go for it. Fourth down, 3 yards to go. Even if you don't make it, you got them in great defensive field position for the SK Wolves.
And it looks like the Wolves are going to attempt the field goal, and attempting The kicker for the Wolves this year is the 6-foot senior, number 99, Drew Klopstein, as he will come in and he is going to attempt
to take the points when they're given to you.
He is going to attempt a 13-yard field goal. Excuse us, that's going to be a 23-yard field goal, so a nice little chip shot.
I hate to correct you in the middle of a sentence.
The chip shot is up and good, so the Wolves lead 3-0 with 7:35 remaining here in the first quarter, and it was a nice drive by the Wolves, but they had a tough time getting into the end zone on that first series.
Boy, at the stadium, Tiger fans may be a little surprised by that kaboom from the ROTC cannon after the made field goal. I thought they only did that for touchdowns, but hey, any Wolf score, we blow off the cannon.
South Kitsap on the board first here. A nice sustained drive all the way down to the 4-yard line of Stadium, but Stadium held their ground and did a good job of stopping the Wolves on defense. So the Wolves get 3 points out of it, though. All is not for loss for naught. And what the Wolves are going to do is kick off here from their own 40-yard line. And Stadium is going to send back 2 of their deep threats at receiver, number 25, that's Kendall McNeil, the sophomore, and it looks like that's number 7, Deshaun Dixon, the sophomore. 2 sophomores back to receive. So Klopstein is back to kick from the 40-yard line, and the Wolves will get their first test here. And the Wolves have to be careful here with the quick speed of the Stadium, and the kick is going to be right down the middle. It's going to be fielded by Dixon, who fields the ball at about the 13-yard line. He's got some room up the middle, and he is hit by number 29, Nick Peapea. So, but a nice return by Dixon, and Stadium is going to have good field position starting at their own 32-yard line.
I'll be interested to see how they throw Dixon into the offense. So far, he's been their star on defense, going one-on-one pretty effectively against Leon Ladeau. And now a nice kickoff return. I bet you he's going to be a wide receiver in their sets here.
So the Tigers come out here in a pro set, or they come out in, they send a man in motion, and they're going to hand the ball straight up the middle, but he's not going anywhere. That's number 40, Justin McDonald, the fullback, and he is met by a pack of Wolves, and in fact, he is going to lose about 3 yards on the gain. It's going to be 2nd and 13, and Stadium's going to have a long night if that happens.
Boy, it looked like the Wolves knew that play was coming yesterday, and boy, they sniffed that one out and snuffed it out pretty quickly, and Stadium might, like you said, have a long night if they can't get the rushing game going. If the rushing game's not working, you can't just go to the passing game immediately. You got to have both.
Stadium comes out in a 2nd and 13 from their own 30-yard line. They're going to fake the handoff. Quarterback rolls to the right. He's chased out of the pocket. He's going to keep it, puts his head down. He gets just past the original line of scrimmage, and it looked like the ball came loose, but I think that he fell on it himself. That's the quarterback, number 5, Kyle Alexander.
As a coach, you don't want to see your quarterback running a bootleg to the right side on a busted play and getting chopped down after a few yards gain, and also coughing up the ball. It could be a long night.
It was a nice play for the Tigers to get past the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 8. We'll call it 3rd and 8 for Stadium, as they're going to come out here, quarterback under center. They're going to send a man in motion to the near side of the field. They pitch the ball, and the Wolves are caught off guard, and they run up. Oh, and he's hit hard. What a hit. That's number 4. That's T.J. Rhodes. Rhodes with the big stick, and it's going to be 4th down for Stadium, and they're not going to get first downs with guys getting hit like that.
T.J. Rhodes just knocked that kid's block off. What a hit from the young man. T.J. Rhodes, a 5'10 senior, only weighs 170, but boy, did he lay a hit on that guy. Wow, nice tackle, keeping them from getting the first down after the Wolves were caught off guard.
Nice hit by T.J. Rhodes. And the Tigers are counting the number that they have on the field. They're going to kick the ball away here.
I think the young man that got hit is counting the number of stars floating around in his head right now.
The kicker, the punter, is Dominic Vazzari for Stadium. He is standing at his own 25-yard line. It's a little high snap, a little slow getting back.
Wolves lay off it.
It's a low kick. It's going to be fielded there by the Wolves at the 30-yard line. A little juking and jiving. Got a little bit of room. There he goes. That's number 7. Austin Melvin. And Austin Melvin was taken down. Nice job by Melvin to get down to about the 33-yard line. And the Wolves are going to have great field position once again on offense.
Austin Melvin, a quick little guy scampering up the right sideline. This right sideline seems to be one of the best friends of the Wolves tonight. Number 7, Austin Melvin, giving his team excellent field position. Austin Melvin, definitely a gamer in all sports that he plays, baseball, football, or basketball. Austin Melvin coming out of John Sedgwick Junior High. A lot of Sedgwick guys on this squad, along with Marcus Whitman and Cedar Heights. 3 of the 3 junior high schools that feed into South Kitsap High School. Right now we are, I thought someone called a timeout. We've got Leon Ladeau, again, number 9. We'll keep mentioning his name. And going one-on-one with number 7, Deshaun Dixon. That looks like the matchup of the night as far as the offensive side of the ball goes. Gordy Anderson so far doing a very nice job of running the show here, managing the troops, and just doing an overall good job with the SK offense.
A little stoppage of play as Brian Kuznick comes back into the offensive line, and Anderson's going to hand the ball to Allison, and he's hit hard. He barely gets past the line of scrimmage. That's number 62, Nathan Stiles, the 6-foot junior for Stadium. He doesn't get much. We'll call it a gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for South Kitsap.
And give the Stadium defensive line some cred. They are not letting the Wolves totally run over them. In fact, they've kept them successfully out of the end zone. I would say that the Stadium defensive line so far is digging in and doing a nice job in the trenches, keeping the Wolves honest with the running game.
Anderson under center. Looks like Stadium was offside. They're going to hand the ball off to Allison again. Allison is grabbed and thrown forward. He gained about another 3 yards on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Wolves. So Stadium doing a nice job of plugging up the middle there on defense.
Grant Duchesne, the 5'11", senior, in on the tackle for Stadium. They're looking like those guys on the Stadium defensive line are pretty psyched up. Also, number 50, Isaiah Larson, and number 68, Zach Scott, all seniors on that Stadium defensive line, doing a very good job of keeping the Wolves honest. And maybe we'll go to the air here. Nope, we'll stay on the ground.
The quick hit to TJ Rhodes straight up the middle, but the South Kitsap Wolves are not going to get the first down.
And the Wolves are kind of in a between zone right now. Do they punt it, or do they go for it, or do they try to kick the long 40-yard field goal from here, which I seriously doubt.
I think the Wolves are going to go for it. Gordy Anderson standing at the 30-yard line, getting the play from head coach DJ Sigurdsson, and the Wolves are going to go for it. It's going to be 4th and 4 at the Stadium 28-yard line. So South Kitsap going for it here, staying in the I formation. TJ Rhodes in at tailback. Anderson drops back, and he's got, and he's just right through the hands. Maybe he was led ahead just a little bit there. But that was number 9, Leon Ladeau, had the slant inward from the near side of the field. Looked like a decent pass, but it was all for naught, and the pass is incomplete. So Stadium is going to take over after the incomplete pass. And Stadium's going to have a first down at their own 28-yard line. So, again, a nice job by Stadium on defense here.
And Gordy Anderson, number 15, and going to number 9, Ladeau again. Number 7, Deshaun Dixon for Stadium, doing a very good job of playing one-on-one football from the defensive back position against Ladeau. So far, that's one of the difference makers in the game. The other one is the defensive line for the Stadium Tigers on this last possession, keeping the Wolves from running all over the place.
Stadium is going to call a timeout here. South Kitsap still leads Stadium 3-0 with 2:56 left here in the first quarter of play. The first football game of the 2008 high school season here at Joe Knowles Field. And South Kitsap still doing a pretty good job, but Stadium doing an excellent job up front and containing the run straight up the middle by the Wolves.
Absolutely. I think that is the best, some of the best team defensive line play we've seen from any team that's played South in the last couple of years. So far in this first quarter, they're doing a very good job of containing that run. The Wolves are going straight up the middle, and the Stadium knows it's coming, and they're sniffing it out, and they're snuffing it. And South Kitsap might have to mix it up a little bit, or they talk to the offensive line and say, hey, boys, you got to get those blocks off.
So Stadium is coming back from the timeout here. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. In at quarterback is Cameron Roback. And Roback under center. They've got two running backs in the backfield. And it looked like there was maybe some movement on the line.
A South Kitsap defensive lineman went in the neutral zone, came back. An offensive lineman from Stadium jumped, and then one of our South Kitsap guys jumped, but that offensive lineman was offsides.
South Kitsap looked like they were a little offside, but the defense was able to get back, and the offensive lineman for Stadium just stood up and started pointing at South Kitsap, saying they were offside, and he didn't realize that actually he was offside.
Well, sometimes it's a learning process, even in high school, for these young men, and well, the officials see most everything, and we can see stuff up here in the booth too. We can see pretty plainly that the defensive player got back behind the neutral zone, and well, he was clearly offsides for Stadium.
So Stadium will have a 1st and 15 from their own 23-yard line. A few more substitutions coming in for Stadium as Roback is going to take the snap. He'll have a shotgun. He decides to look for the pass, but he ducks his head and runs, and he's thrown forward. And they're going to spot him down at the 30-yard line, so just back past the original line of scrimmage. And it is going to be 2nd down and 8 from Stadium's 30-yard line. So Stadium looked for the pass, but good coverage by the South Kitsap secondary, and there was nobody to throw to.
Well, Cameron Roback, the quarterback, ran off the field after the last play after he got thrown to the ground and comes back on the field. I thought they were going to sub out another player as a quarterback. But he comes back on at the play call, and we'll see what they run with here. It looks like they're in a traditional 3 wide receiver set now.
Roback is in the shotgun, and he's going to roll to his right, chased by the defense, and he's got a man open, and it's tipped. It went through the hands of the intended receiver, number 81, Tyler McCann, the 6'3 senior, but it went right through his hands, incomplete, and South Kitsap did a nice job on coverage there. It will be 3rd and 8. Big play for the Wolves there on defense.
Yeah, number 13, the senior, 5'7", Sean Korf came in to help break up that pass play from Stadium. The quarterback and the offensive play calling looking like it's getting mixed up a little bit here as far as the plays. Play calling, mostly they are throwing the ball, shotguns, little misdirection type stuff, throwing everything that they can at the Wolves to try to keep them off balance.
The South Kitsap defensive backs doing a nice job with Jared Moore and Brady Zern in the safeties. As Stadium comes out, 3rd and long, shotgun formation. Roback's got a man out in the flat. He's going to throw it, and the pass is incomplete. Good coverage there by Jared Moore and Sean Korf once again, and an incompleted pass, and it's going to be 4th down for Stadium, and they will have to punt the ball away.
I'll tell you, number 18 down the left sideline for Stadium was looking pretty open to me, and I just don't think the quarterback saw him, and he's kind of holding his hands up like, hey, man, I was open. Where's the ball? So maybe look at number 18 if you're Stadium, Tyler Tryon, the 6-foot senior, looking like he was ready to catch a ball wide open there for the Stadium Tigers.
Jared Moore and Austin Melvin back to receive the punt from Stadium.
Austin Melvin last time with a nice 30-plus yard punt return for South Kitsap. We'll see if they'll punt away from him, or oops. Looks like the Stadium Tigers might have been offsides again, and that's got to be driving their head coach a little bit nuts at this time, because that's 2 of those.
The flags come flying as they're going to have an illegal procedure against Stadium, so they're going to scoot them back 5 more yards, and the ball will be placed at the 15 at Stadium's 25-yard line. So just scoot them back a little bit farther, which just gives South Kitsap a little bit more room. We have both men back to receive in Melvin and Moore, are dangerous return men. South Kitsap at the line there as the kick is going to be up, and it's a low end-over-end kick. It's going to be fielded by Jared Moore. He's going to come up and get the ball near the 45-yard line. Oh, and he's hit hard. Nice tackle by number 26, Denzel Martin. And South Kitsap is going to have the ball in very good field position just past midfield. We're going to call it the Stadium 46-yard line. So we'll see if the Wolves can get into the end zone on this possession.
Well, so far the Wolves, the Stadium Tigers have done a good job of keeping the Wolves at bay, keeping them out of the end zone, forcing them to a field goal in their first possession when it looked like the Wolves were going to march right into the end zone and score a traditional quick 6. not the case. Stadium's really dug their heels in, and it's turned into now a defensive battle, a 3-0 defensive battle, and so far it doesn't look like either team is all too eager to put any extra points up on the board.
Well, we have a stoppage of play here, and the referees were confirming something going on the sideline. I did not see a flag thrown, but it appears as if there may have been a penalty after the play was over, and the ball is being scooted all the way forward. Now I do see a flag. The official, the penalty looks like it's going to be assessed against Stadium, and I think it's going to be. And
they're going to punt over.
They're going to re-kick this ball.
Oh boy, if you're the coach for Stadium, you're just pulling your hair out, because if something goes wrong here, the high snap, it turns into a safety, or one of the South Kitsap players returns this for a touchdown, that's just, especially after number 26, Denzel Martin made a nice tackle there on the punt return. Boy, the coaching staff has got to be really scratching their heads at this point. These guys, Stadium. Yeah, they're young kids, they're high school kids, but they should still, know the snap counts and shouldn't be jumping off sides.
Must have been a late flag, because Stadium is scooted. They have been scooted all the way back to their own 12-yard line.
And I did not see the penalty call.
And it is 4th and forever, and Stadium just made a substitution with about another 11 players. They didn't look like they knew exactly what was going on here, but they're going to have to call a timeout as the Stadium coach is heading over. He wants to confirm with the officials. We didn't see a call that had been made.
Well, the Stadium coach looks like he may have called a timeout to, shall I say, talk to the officials about the call that they made, and that conversation is now concluded, and he's going to come on over to the team and talk about the conversation he had with the official and tell him, hey, guys, keep your heads screwed on straight here, and let's play some football.
Stadium had a 4th down, and the ball was at their own 25-yard line as they were punting the ball away. They did. It was a low end-over-end kick fielded by Jared Moore around his 45-yard line, and he got down to about the 46-yard line, but then we saw a penalty flag, and it came back, and they scooted Stadium and made him kick the ball again, and it is now placed at about their own, just in between the 12 and 13-yard line. So, but we did not see a penalty. We didn't see what the call was. It must have been an unsportsmanlike conduct, but usually that comes after the kick. So
it's a little surprising to me what this call was. Wish we had been in on that conversation between the coach and the officials there.
So Stadium will be kicking from their end zone right at the goal line. It's a low kick. The kick is going to be an end over end. It's going to be fielded by Austin again at his own 48-yard line. He's got a little bit of room, puts his head down, ducks it down. Nice stick there by number 44, Andrew Duchesne, the 6-foot sophomore. So a lot of young players for Stadium here, but now we finally do get play going. And South Kitsap is going to have even better field position as the ball is going to be placed at the Stadium, looks like the 36-yard line, with 1:21 remaining here in the first quarter of play.
Something tells me that Coach Segerson probably talked to the offensive line and said, hey guys, we gotta block, we gotta make our blocks. We're not doing anything, we're not going anywhere until we start getting the running game up and going, and that's where it starts here at South Kitsap. They're gonna keep it on the ground.
They're going to hand the ball off to Sean Allison, and he goes straight up the middle, and he does a nice job of holding onto that football, gets near the first down marker. Allison gets all the way down to the Stadium 26-yard line, so a gain of about 9 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Nice run by Allison.
One thing we might do sometimes up here in the booth is take advantage of those running backs that run so hard for South Kitsap, just night in and night out on these game nights, and that's another nice run from Sean Allison.
2nd and 1 for the Wolves. They're going to hand the ball off to Al. Oh, this time it's number 33 for the Wolves. That's Robert Issa, but Issa was hit hard, spun around in the backfield, stayed on his feet, kept his balance, got past the first down marker, and he gets down to the Stadium 24-yard line. Nice run. We're going to call it the 25. Nice run by Robert Issa to get the first down.
And it's tough to scout the South Kitsap Wolves when they've got so many different backs they can throw in a lot of different situations. You're not sure which back you're getting, which guy is dangerous in what situations, and South just throws a lot at you at one time.
First down for the Wolves, just inside the 25-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off to Ryan Williams. He trips up. He inched forward just past the original line of scrimmage. We're going to call it a gain of 1. and it'll be 2nd and 9, and the Wolves are just trying to pound up front there on that defensive line, but Stadium is holding their own, doing a nice job.
Well, that's one thing we haven't really seen tonight is some of the moves from Ryan Williams, which we've grown accustomed to, and if he gets his feet underneath of him, that'll be the good thing for South and a long night for Stadium.
And that is the end of the first quarter. South Kitsap will have a 2nd and 9 from Stadium's 24-yard line as we are going to switch ends here, and a pretty good game so far, dominated mostly by South Kitsap, but just not on the scoreboard.
Well, if you count first downs and you count yardage, South Kitsap is definitely winning this game hands down. Look at the scoreboard, like you just said, it's only 3-0 South Kitsap. Yards and first downs don't count if you don't, put points on the board and if you don't punch the ball into the end zone.
So South Kitsap is going to come out, and they're going to have a first down in good field position, and the Wolves are going to look to turn up the heat here in the second quarter of play, looking to try and punch that ball into the end zone. And the Wolves are doing a nice job with all of their running backs, especially from Sean Allison, Robert Issa, and Ryan Williams.
And actually the passes that Gordy Anderson has thrown have been fairly decent passes, especially that rollout left to completion to Brad Fairweather for that first down in the first quarter. Good passes. I think the Stadium is playing some good defense, maybe something that South wasn't necessarily expecting. I think they'll keep going back to number 9, Ladeau, and definitely Brad Fairweather is a tight end. They'll look for him in the future here, I believe.
TJ Rhodes is in at fullback. Ryan Williams is in at tailback, and Jared Moore and Leon Ladeau are split at the wide receivers as we have another stoppage of play here. The officials confirming with themselves. We'll see what the delay is. It's probably some kind of an equipment problem. But the Wolves are going to come out, and like we said earlier, the Wolves are going to try and maybe sustain more of a stronger running game right up the middle. But the Stadium's going to have to watch out because South's been running the ball up the middle all this time, and if they key on that, they're going to be able to punch that ball to the outside and mix it up a little bit. So we are ready to go here. Gordy Anderson under center. The ball is just inside the 25-yard line. He's going to hand the ball off, fake it. He's going to roll, and he's got a man out there. That's TJ. Nice job. That's TJ Rhodes with the nice pass and catch from Gordy Anderson. And they're going to get near the first down. We're going to call it. They're going to get down to about the 17-yard line. It's going to be second short for the Wolves.
Well, they faked me out. I was looking at I had no idea where the ball was. That was a very good job from the Wolves of faking out the Stadium defense, providing a wide open man for the completed pass, and first down for the Wolves.
Gordy
Anderson. Not quite a first down, a third and 2 situation for the Wolves.
Nick Peapea is now in at fullback. They're going to hand the ball off to Sean Allison. He stutter steps, puts his head down. He's taken up, lifted over, gets just over the 10-yard line. Nice run there by Allison, and he's going to have a first down inside the 10. We're going to call it the 9. So the Wolves are definitely in the red zone now, looking to score. It's going to be first and goal for South Kitsap at the Stadium 9-yard line.
And if the Wolves are in a position where they need to kick a field goal to put points up on the board again, it's good that early on they gave their kicker, number 99, Drew Klopstein, a chance to get his leg warmed up and get a chance to get out here on the field and kick a field goal.
Leon Ladeau splits to the far side of the field. Another timeout here by the officials. A lot of equipment timeouts.
Talking to the safety about his equipment.
Austin Melvin, number 7, is in. The Wolves still in the I formation. They're going to hand the ball off to Allison. He's got a nice block up the middle. There goes Sean Allison's touchdown, South Kitsap. 9-yard touchdown run by Allison, and that's what we were talking about, the big hole up the middle by that offensive line for South Kitsap.
Well, number 52 and the crew, Brian Kuznick and his boys blocking for some big holes for Sean Allison. Inevitability, just a matter of time before he goes in for a big 6 for South Kitsap, putting him up 9-0 here in the very beginning of the second quarter.
South Kitsap punches it in with Sean Allison running 9 yards out to score for the touchdown, the first touchdown of the season, as there are more substitutions coming in here for this extra point attempt for both sides, Stadium and South Kitsap. Klopstein with the kick. It looks like that Stadium got off just a little bit too quick. It might be offside on the defense. We'll have to see what the officials call here as the flag is down around the 3-yard line. We're waiting for the call from the officials, and it is. It's going to be offside by Stadium, which will be half the distance and scoot them just a little bit closer. So the Wolves are going to attempt the extra point here to try and go up 10-0. A little high snap. The kick is up, and it is good by Klopstein. Nice kick by Klopstein. And South Kitsap now leads Stadium 10-0 with 10:48 remaining in the first half of play. And D-Rod, is this going to be indicative of what we're going to see in the rest of the game, that the Wolves are just going to start exploding on offense?
Well, I predicted that they would get the boys together and just tell them, like I said, start blocking, making your blocks, make our plays happen, and more consistently is, I think, what they were really looking for. And that drive really proved that South Kitsap, they know what they're doing. They're well coached, they're disciplined, and boy, they sure looked impressive on that drive. And they let Stadium know that, well, we're not going to let you guys push us around on defense anymore. And they put the ball in the end zone for big 6 points. It's a 10-0 lead. For so long it was 3-0. I think Stadium thought that was within reach. 10-0 is a little bit different story. Stadium, I believe, is going to play a bit more with some more intensity, and maybe that can work to their advantage or to their disadvantage. We'll see what happens.
We'll see how Stadium reacts to the touchdown that was just scored by the Wolves, a 9-yard touchdown run by Sean Allison. As the Wolves are ready to kick the ball off here, the Tigers have 2 deep men to receive the kick. It's a short kick. It's going to go straight up the middle. It's going to be fielded by number 7. That's Deshaun Dixon. He tries to go straight up the middle, puts his head down. A decent return, and he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. So Stadium is actually getting some pretty good field position to start. It's not like they're starting back in their own 10-yard line or so.
And they throw a lot of different looks offensively out on the field, and I almost wonder if there's too many looks on the field, if they should stick to some bread and butter plays or some bread and butter formations instead of, they've got all sorts of different sets. Pro set. I would like to see them, if I was on the Stadium sideline, I would like to see them air it out a little bit more and see what they can get from the passing game. Send some guys over the middle. We'll see what they do here.
Stadium comes out. Cameron Roback still at quarterback, under center. They've got one lone wide receiver split to the far side. That's Tyler Tryon. And they're going to hand the ball off to the tailback. He doesn't get very much. In fact, he's going to lose a couple on the play. There's going to be a loss of one. That was number 30, Grant Duchesne. And Duchesne had nowhere to run. He almost gets back to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to be about a yard back. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Stadium.
I just think Stadium should go Canadian Football League here and just send out 5 wide receivers and go deep shotgun every time and just start flinging the ball around the field. I mean, what do you have to lose at this point? You're down 10-0. Your running game is going nowhere. South Kitsap is now warmed up at the beginning of the second quarter, and what do you have to lose? We'll see what they do here. Coach, as a coach, you never want to abandon your principles, and we'll see what Stadium does.
Well, I think you got your wish of Canadian football, as they just sent out 4 wide receivers, and the quarterback rolls to his left. There's nobody open, tucks the ball under his arm, and Roback just had nobody to throw to. And it's going to great coverage again by the Wolves secondary, and it's going to be 3rd and long for Stadium. So even when they did come out with the Canadian football, they were snubbed.
Well, the quarterback wasn't deep enough. He needs to be 10 yards behind the center in that deep shotgun. That way he has time to look downfield and just fling the ball. And it's got to be frustrating as a receiver for Stadium because, along the left sideline, the receiver was a little bit open, not terribly wide open. South plays good defense on the ends and the corners. And you see you're open, but you look back and you see your quarterback getting sacked.
Stadium in a wing T format, and they're going to pitch the ball out, but it's going to be a pass. They do have a man open, and the pass is complete. And we'll see if he was able to stay in bounds, and he did. They
nice
pitched
play.
the ball out to number 3, Nate Jenkins. Jenkins looked like he was going to run, pulled up and threw the pass down the field to Tyler Tyron, and he made a nice catch as he was going out of bounds right at midfield. And nice play there by Stadium. So Stadium trying to get something going here. It'll be 1st down Stadium right at midfield.
If I were Stadium, I'd run that play every 3rd play. Just, pitch it out and throw it up. Go for it. Why not? Look what, mix it up a little bit.
Stadium with the 1st down at midfield. They're going to hand the ball straight up to, and he stood up quick. until a couple of more Wolves. That's number 31 on the assist right there coming in. Brady Zern, the senior for South Kitsap. Also TJ Rhodes there with the tackle. And he gets nowhere, maybe a yard. We're going to call it a yard. And it's going to be 2nd and 9. So Stadium having a little trouble getting that ball right up the middle.
I know Stadium's trying to keep South Kitsap honest with their running game, but there's nothing honest. What you don't need to prove it to them. I mean, they're sacrificing the running backs at this point. I mean, have that back block and throw the ball up. Let's see what happens. Right now they have one wide out.
The wing T formation doesn't fool anybody. The ball is handed off to Nate Jenkins, and Roback, one of the keys behind the wing T is to try and get a bunch of different looks at running back in the backfield to try and confuse the defense, and it just did not do that right there for the Wolves. They all stayed at home. An excellent job by the coaching staff to tell them to stay home and watch that run.
Well, one thing about opposing football teams that play South Kitsap is they should know is that South Kitsap, practices defense against the running game a lot in practice, and so they're ready for almost any type of running situation. They don't get fooled a lot.
The lone wide receiver is Tryon. Roback drops back, and he's got a man. There's a screen, and he gets out there to Tryon. Tryon's got a lot of field out to the left. He's got one man to help block. He stutter steps, gets down to the 10, and he's going to get in for the touchdown Stadium.
Do they have a microphone up here in the booth?
I can't believe it. They threw the screenplay. South Kitsap bet on it, and what a nice pass play. A 49-yard touchdown pass from Roback to Tryon, and just like that, Stadium is back in this game.
I'll tell you what, that Roback, number 11 quarterback, he had a couple of guys coming straight at him unblocked, and because of the play they were running, and he got that ball off just in time. Nice throw. I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. It looked like a duck to me at first, and what a tough quarterback to be able to get an accurate throw off and score, to get a pass off to score a touchdown. Nice run by Tryon after catch. 10-6. South Kitsap with an extra point coming up here for Stadium. Nice play from Stadium.
Dominic Vazzari is going to try the extra point as Stadium still very confused about their special teams and just players who are supposed to be on the field. They're going to have to be careful.
That's disconcerting for Stadium if you're a coach.
After a 49-yard touchdown play, a little high snap, they can't get it off. They're going to try and throw it up into the end zone. They throw it up there, and they just bat it down. Good job by the Wolves. So the extra point is no good. And with 7:34 remaining in the first half of play, a 49-yard touchdown pass play by Stadium gets them on the board. And even with the failed extra point, Stadium is right in this game.
Now, I've been a coach for about a decade now, and when your players don't look like they know what they're doing, it's usually not the coach's fault. And when the players don't know they're supposed to be out there for the extra point, throws everybody off. And it looks like you just started doing special teams yesterday. That is maddening as a coach. It makes the coaching staff look unprofessional. And I just hope those boys get their, from a sportsmanship standpoint, get their special teams together before the end of this game. And they've made a good game out of it. They kind of just sold themselves out there by blowing the extra point. It's 10-6. It's only 4 points, but if it's 10-7, it puts you within field goal range to tie game. A field goal now puts you down by one instead of tying it up.
And a lot of it is probably also nerves. A lot of young players from Stadium and from South Kitsap for that matter. And always the first game of the season, going to have some of the jitters in a game until it takes you just a little while to settle down. But Stadium doing a nice job there on that last series with a big play.
Boy, they sure looked impressive on that last offensive possession, and so I think they surprised the Wolves a little bit by coming out there and scoring that touchdown. That last one, the Wolves always bring the house whenever possible, and boy, that number 11 Roback got off a nice pass. Kudos to Stadium's offense. We'll see if they can keep that going next time they get the ball back. You think they get a pooch kick here, onside? Try to get the ball back, do you think?
They're going to kick it straight down the middle. It's going to be fielded by the Wolves. That's number 93. That's Isaiah Davis. There goes Isaiah Davis. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Stutter steps. He's got a blocker. He jumps around. He's going to steer. And he gets all the way down to the 13-yard line. Nice return by number 93, Isaiah Davis.
Isaiah Davis, are you playing football? The sophomore from Marcus Whitman Junior High comes in here and makes an immediate impact for South Kitsap Wolves football. Hey, I thought you were only a basketball player and sometimes soccer, not football. Isaiah Davis with a beautiful, beautiful spinning down, big time, getting down the field, kickoff return for the Wolves.
Isaiah Davis gets down to the 12-yard line after about a 75-yard kickoff return.
Wow.
Nice job by the sophomore. And the Wolves are in business again in the red zone. As they come out, they split 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. That's Moore and Ladeau. Allison is the tailback. Corey Galligan is now in. They're going to hand the ball off to Allison. He's got an opening. He's hit, taken down by the 5, gets close, and he's going to be stacked up at about the 4-yard line. It'll be second goal for the Wolves.
Hey, get Isaiah Davis in there, hand the ball off to him, get him this touchdown. I thought he was going in. He did his best, got an extra 10 to 12 yards out of that last juke move.
Got down to about the 20-yard line. It looked like he was going to be tripped up, and he did get tripped up, but he spun around, kept his balance, and got the ball all the way down to the 12. So nice job by Isaiah Davis getting the Wolves in scoring position. It'll be second goal for the Wolves inside the 5-yard line. We'll call it the 4. Allison in at tailback, and it looked like a little hesitation there, and Allison gets the handoff, and he gets in for the touchdown. Looked like there was a little illegal procedure there, but obviously no flags.
I'll tell you what, it looked like the left side, the entire left side of the South Kitsap Wolves offensive line stood up, and then the ball was snapped, and boy, I think we might have got away with one there, Coach.
Well, no flags there, and the Wolves get in only on a couple of plays just like that. Just like Stadium prior to that, they had a couple of big plays. They had a halfback pass and then a 49-yard touchdown play, and on the ensuing kickoff, the sophomore from Marcus Whitman, Isaiah Davis, runs the ball back 75 yards down to the Stadium 12-yard line, and the Wolves get in there. Sean Allison with about a 4-yard touchdown run, and again, more flags come flying in, and it looks like it's going to be offsides on Stadium for this extra point.
Now, if I'm the coach, once again put myself in the coach's shoes for Stadium, either I'm upset at not upset, but I'm disappointed that we couldn't stop the run there, or I'm yelling at the refs at halftime for missing that call.
Drew Klopstein is back to kick for the Wolves. They scooted in, it was half the distance, so they'll place it at the, they're going to move it into about the 2-yard line. So South Kitsap gets back on the board again, leading 16-6 here with 16:43 remaining in the first half of play.
That would be 6:43, not 16:43. I hate to correct you in the middle of a sentence. I hate it, DB, but there's only 6:43 left in the half.
What would I do without you, D-Rod? As the kick is up and it is good, and the Wolves lead Stadium 17-3 with 6:43 remaining in the first half, and I got it right that time.
Yeah. There's 6:43 left in the half. Stadium answered immediately by South Kitsap with a very nice, excellent, even kickoff return from Isaiah Davis, setting the South Kitsap Wolves up for another touchdown. Isaiah Davis, not somebody I thought we'd be talking about here in the booth this early in the season, but we'll just keep that our own little secret.
So South Kitsap gets on the board again. We're going to relish the moment by watching Isaiah Davis with a long kickoff return after a Stadium score. It looked like the Wolves were maybe going to start pulling away after leading 10-0, but they come back on a couple of big plays. 49-yard touchdown pass to get them on the board. They missed the extra point, and on the ensuing kickoff, Isaiah Davis goes 75 yards, and then Sean Allison, after a couple of runs, gets it into the end zone again from there. So the Wolves doing a good job of punching the ball into the end zone, and that's one of the keys that they're going to have to touch upon, is making sure that they score when they're inside the red zone. And when
Stadium kicked the ball off, remember I said onside kick here, they should have, I think, onside kicked it. I don't think they knew about Isaiah Davis.
Klopstein is going to kick the ball. It's going to go near the 10-yard line, fielded by Stadium. The jukes and jives all the way around there. That's by number 7, Deshaun Dixon. And Dixon sidesteps his way a little bit forward there, gets past the 20-yard line. They're going to call it the 22. So we'll see what the Tigers can do on offense here with 6:39 left in the first half.
Well, if they show any sort of promise like they had on the last drive, I think this could be a nice little extended drive for them, keep the Wolves defense on the field, and we'll see what happens. If they put up another score on the board in the form of a touchdown or even a field goal, it puts them within striking distance, keep the Wolves off the board for the rest of the half, going to halftime within reason.
So Stadium with 4 wide receivers. They send a man in motion. They're going to have the ball. The ball is fumbled. The ball is fumbled. I don't know if they were able to get it back.
Wow.
And it is. The ball was fumbled. They handed the ball off to the fullback, Justin McDonald, and it looked like a bad exchange. The ball went down, and South Kitsap recovered right there, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Big plays coming up right here.
Well, those plays, the stadium's running a little pretty complex, and catches up to them here, and they fumble the ball in the exchange on the misdirection, and well, South Kitsap recovers again, and they are sitting pretty at the, let me see if I have this right, at the 17-yard line. The 18-yard line of stadium, and they're looking to punch it in again. Some mistakes catching up to the Stadium Tigers.
Gordy Anderson with the pass out to the flat. Jared Moore with the reception. He's not going to get much on the play. Nice defense right there. Gain of about 2 yards on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Wolves. So Anderson throws to Moore out there near the sideline, and just a little ball control here. You know,
it looks to me like maybe that the Wolves' offensive line isn't standing up illegally and not getting called for it. It looks like they're just quick off the ball. It's a good disciplined line.
South Kitsap with a 2nd and 8, call it down near the 25-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off to Issa. He puts his head down. There goes Issa. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Robert Issa. It looked like he was going to be stopped near the line of scrimmage at the 25-yard line, but there was a missed tackle, and Issa scoops in from 25 yards out. Touchdown, South Kitsap.
Second quarter touchdown party for the South Kitsap Wolves here, as they just easily put another 6 spot on the board. One turnover, one play, one score, and 18 yards later, it's 23-6 Wolves. It went from a 10-6 game to all of a sudden 23-6, and that's demoralizing for the opposing team, the Stadium Tigers, as the Wolves line up for another extra point.
And now it's become a matter of big plays in this game, and that's always something that can happen here. It can be the big difference in the outcome of a game, as Drew Klopstein, nice kick by Klopstein, as the kick is up and good, and it is now 24-6. South Kitsap with 5:47 remaining here in the first half of play. And like we were saying, D-Rod, right now it's becoming a matter of big plays, especially for the Wolves that are getting them into scoring position.
And all the big plays from the Wolves are coming on the ground. I think DJ Segerson said, hey, we're going back to the bread and butter, the mayo and the mustard, and we are going to go stay on the ground. We're going to punch it in. And boy, you know, it's hard to argue with that philosophy, especially when you look at the scoreboard.
South Kitsap is maybe starting to run away with this here on a beautiful evening of football. What a great crowd, a huge crowd. It's almost completely packed, and nice crowd by Stadium as well. As we look around here, a lot of former students and players and parents all coming in here as the cheerleaders are down there doing their push-ups. They're actually bending their elbows this time, and that's great. And we're really getting a good feel of good old traditional South Kitsap football that we're seeing here at Joe Knowles Field once again, as Drew Klopstein is ready to kick off to Stadium. But again, you know, you can't hold Stadium back, because all it takes is a couple of big plays to get them right back in this game.
Oh no, Stadium I think has got the athletes, and they've got the coaching that they could easily come back into this game. The Wolves, not that I think they would do it, need to make sure that they stay focused and don't lay down and just let them back into the game.
It was touched by a Stadium player, and he's trying to run sideways, and he almost gets back, and he does, but they are going to give him forward progress. They will give him forward progress.
So even if he was forward but he got tackled in the end zone, that's not a safety.
They're going to, it looked like it's close. It depends on how they rule it. But the receiver for Stadium was trying to run sideways, but they did give him forward progress, and he did not get the safety. So the ball's going to be down at the Stadium 1 yard line.
Now, if that was me with the ball and I got tackled in the end zone, that would have been a safety.
That would have been a safety for sure. In fact, they would have called a safety. If that was you, D-Rod, they would have called a safety when you had the ball at the 5 yard line.
They would have called the safety as soon as I caught the ball. But no, well, they give Stadium a break. I don't know how much of a break this is, because they have the ball at the 1. You know, once again, in Canadian football, if you're that close to the end zone, you just take a knee in the end zone. That way you can get the game going again. But here in American football, you want to stay out of the end zone, avoid all safeties at all costs. And they're going to have the ball at the 1. Is that right?
Well, there's a penalty flag down, and it looked like they had 12 men on the field.
They're going to have the ball at the 1. I meant 1 inch.
And now it's going to be at the half 8-yard line. So Stadium is they're in a bind right here. They're going to have to try and get themselves some running room.
They got to be careful here. This game could turn ugly pretty quick scoreboard-wise for the Stadium Tigers.
4 wide receivers. They send a man in motion. Last time they did that, they had a fumble, and they're going to look for the man out in the flat, and the quarterback just throws it away.
I'll tell you, I don't know if number 11, the quarterback for the Stadium Tigers, Cameron Roback, I don't know if he's going to make it out of the half. He's gotten hit quite a few times. He's a tough, heroic young man, and I just hope he stays healthy.
When you are pushed all the way back at your half-yard line, it's going to be tough to get some running room there. And South Kitsap is really looking forward for a big defensive stop here, or see if they can prevent them from getting out of that end zone and get a safety.
Really good to see the student section alive and well with the cheer squad. The marching band getting ready to come on the field for halftime. Got football players from all 3 junior highs at the on our right side, our end zone. Just a nice atmosphere out here with a couple thousand people out here to see a game.
Another great atmosphere. A lot of people out here from the community to support the football team. They're going to hand the ball off straight up the middle. They get a little breathing room, but about 14,000 flags come flying in, and that's usually in the area. It looked like the first flag thrown was maybe an illegal procedure call, and the second flag that came flying in is usually in the area of holding. So Stadium is racking up a bunch of penalties right here.
For them, it doesn't really matter because they're so far deep. As long as they get a playoff without flags, get it out to a first down, it doesn't really matter how many penalties they throw at them because they're already at the half-foot line. So they just want to get a good playoff here. They just want to get a good playoff, get positive yardage, maybe get down the field a little bit, get the ball to one of their speedsters, maybe over the middle or in the flat or in a slant. I don't think they're going to get any sort of sideline patterns off because they're too deep. They don't have enough time for the offensive line to hold South's attack. So they want to run a quick play. I don't think a draw play is going to work here because South's defense is just too disciplined to allow that, I think. So I look for them to try to hit a quick slant over the middle right here and get it to one of their speedsters and get some positive yardage.
Well, the penalty was against South Kitsap, offside on the defense, so a little assistance right there.
Wow.
And Stadium is going to have a little bit of breathing room. I saw another penalty flag come flying in. Looked like it was going to be holding against Stadium, but it was all for naught. So they're going to have the ball, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper straight up the middle. Gain of about maybe 3 more on the play, and Stadium's going to get back to their own 10-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and short, and Stadium is just struggling a little bit here, but they're still out there.
And they're sticking to the game. They're sticking to the game plan. They're not deviating from that as I would have them do. But you know what? You coach the kids. You preach to them what the principles that you want. And to get away from that in the first half of the game or any time during the game is not really what you want. Armchair quarterbacks up here, or armchair quarterback, me, up here in the booth, that's just what I would do. We'll see what they do here if they air it out.
4 wide receivers trying to spread that defense out. And Roback is going. He's got a man out in the flat. Nice pass by Roback. And that's a huge play right there for Stadium. They got a first down, and it's going to be at about the 17-yard line. Good job by Stadium being backed way up at their half-yard line. It looked like they were going to be stopped for sure. Maybe the momentum going towards South Kitsap, but Stadium doing an excellent job not giving up here.
Well, they're doing a good job of executing their offense. They still can't afford any mistakes here. Little help from South Kitsap with that defensive penalty, giving them 5 extra yards, getting them a little bit out of that hole. And here we go again, the handoff up the right side. Tackled for a short gain, off tackle right. And South Kitsap, trying to, doing a good job on defense. I think the big key for here, DB, is South Kitsap does not want to give up a big play to Stadium here. They don't want to give them any they don't want them to see the ray of light. They want to keep them down, and these wins and losses are important for any high school football team in the state or anywhere in the country. You just don't want to let a team come back on you.
Stadium coming out again, trying to spread that offense out. 4 wide receivers. Roback is in the shotgun. He looks to his left. He's got a man, and he throws down. Oh, and it's just off the tip. The fingertips of the intended receiver looked like it might have been deflected. That's number 9, Leon Ladeau, the 6'3 junior for South Kitsap on defense out there. And it's going to be 3rd and long for Stadium. So another big play here for the Tigers.
Looked like Leon had his hands on the ball. And the pass was too quick for him to catch even. And ball skips across his hands and out of bounds. And Leon would like to have that one back. I think he might have been trotting into the end zone himself if he could have kept his hands on that ball.
Ledoux with the good coverage and doing a good job of looking at his man and just missed seeing the ball, but good coverage there as a Roback. He's flushed out of the pocket, looks to his left, he runs. Now he's just going to tuck his head down. Oh, and he's hit hard right near the original line of scrimmage. He is going to be taken down. That looks like number 83, Brad Fairweather, on the stop there on defense. Good job by the Wolves, and Stadium is now going to have to kick the ball away. Good job by South Kitsap on the defense. So Stadium, they were pushed all the way back, trapped way back near inside their own 1 yard line. Got out to the 17-yard line. Looked like they were going to be stopped for sure. But South Kitsap with a nice job on the second on this defensive stance here. And there is a timeout with 3:10 remaining in the first half. South Kitsap still leading Stadium 24-6. And D-Rod, this could be a big series right here if South Kitsap gets the ball back in good field position to try and score again before the half.
Well, South Kitsap will definitely, or any football team should never pass up on any opportunity to not necessarily pile on or anything like that. They just want to make sure that they have enough points to have a comfortable lead. We've seen football games where one half has gone one way for one team, and then the very next half totally switched around. And we've all seen comebacks. Stadium is obviously a good football team, and South Kitsap does not want to give them any sort of opportunity to see the ray of light here and keep them down. South Kitsap, I don't think they're just content to run the clock out here. I think they want to punch it in the end zone again, if they can.
They're trying to reset the clock here. They had 3:10 down, and it looked like one of the assistant coaches, Eric Canton, standing on the sideline signaling up to the booth that it should be 3:25. So they will try and get that fixed here, the time, as both sides are awaiting. It's going to be 4th and 9 for Stadium from their own 19-yard line, as South Kitsap sends Austin Melvin and Jared Moore back to receive. They're both about their own 45-yard line. Two dangerous return men. South Kitsap showing a little bit of a rush, but they're going to let that kick go. And it's a high end-over-end kick. It's going to be Jared Moore at his own 48-yard line. He's got a couple of blockers. He's going to try and get to the outside. He bounces, switches hands. He's going to try and cut back up. Nice run by Jared Moore. And he's going to get down to the 20-yard line. And there comes a penalty flag out. And that's going to be number 55, Keith Gray, for the Wolves. And they're going to call a personal foul on that. We saw that right at the very end.
It was impossible to miss.
Right when Moore went down, it was very close, right at the end of the run. And the young man was just trying to make a block, but Jared Moore went down first. And Gray just got him shortly after that. So they're going to call that a personal foul. Scoot it back.
Well, it's Keith Gray downfield as a downfield blocker. Probably did not see whether or not his man was down or not, and he wants to keep his block. And the stadium special teams player saw what had happened and stopped. Gave up on the play. Didn't give up on the play because the ball was already down. And number 55, Keith Gray, keeps the block on, and that's a penalty, 15 yards, personal foul assessed to the Wolves. It's going to be 1st and 10 backed up here at the 34-yard line.
So South Kitsap comes out in the I formation. That's number 29, Nick Peapea at the tail, or at the fullback. They're going to hand the ball up to Sean Alliston. He's got a big hole up the middle. Stutter steps, gets past the 30. We're going to call it down to the 29, and it's going to be 2nd down and about 5 yards to go for the Wolves. And we give a lot of credit to the running backs for South Kitsap, but we really have to give a lot of credit to that big offensive line, especially led by number 52, the 6'6", 286-pound senior Brian Kuznick.
I think Brian's doing a great job, and I think that he's a leader on this team. And boy, I think the coaches feel lucky to have him on the squad.
2nd and 5 for the Wolves, just inside the 30. Gordy Anderson with the pass play. Nice pass to Ledoux. Ledoux makes the catch, stays on his feet, stutter steps, gets out there. It's going to be a 1st down inside the 20, call it the 18. Nice pass from Gordy Anderson to Leon Ledoux.
I think the coaches must have saw something there where possibility where Leon would be open. Leon hasn't been open all game. They made the play call, and boy, there he was, just opened up and wide open. And Deshaun Dixon, number 7 for Stadium, hasn't really allowed him to be open. I think they went into a zone D, and they just South Kitsap saw it. Someone on the coaching staff saw it, and they exploited it for a first down. This is bad news for Stadium as the clock continues to tick. 2:15. Hand off to the left, off tackle left. Got a big hole on the left side, going up, tackled. Is that Allison again on the left side, I believe?
That's Sean Allison. He gets down to the 5-yard line. Nice job. Good run by Sean Allison getting down to the 5-yard line. And the play prior to that, Gordy Anderson, a nice 3-step drop. And Leon Ledoux ran a great route. He was wide open. Anderson hit him right in the hands. Ledoux made a nice catch, turned to the outside, got a little extra. And then Allison with the big run down to the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal for South Kitsap at the Stadium 5-yard line as they send Moore and Ledoux split to the far side. Allison in at tailback. Anderson hands off to Sean Allison, and he's going to spin his way in, and he's going to. We haven't seen a signal yet. It looked like he got in, but we have not seen the signal yet. I haven't seen anybody signal a touchdown.
I haven't either. I hear cannons blasting, and I did not see one official raise his hands in the form to signal a touchdown.
I did not see any referee signal a touchdown. Of course, we're up here in the booth, which is not as far away over in Belfair, but we couldn't see. I didn't see one official signal a touchdown. And so the Wolves get in. Sean Allison, a 5-yard touchdown.
We thought he looked like he was in. We didn't see the signal. What do we know? He was in. Good job, Sean Allison.
It looked like it was close down near the goal line as a penalty flag comes flying out, and that might be an offside or a delay of game penalty.
That might be a penalty on the announcers up in the booth not seeing the touchdown signal.
I think that's going to be our first penalty of our career.
I've never been penalized in the booth, and I don't like it.
I don't either. We're going to have to work on the coaching part up here in this booth.
Well, Sean Allison with a nice run. I believe that is the 2nd touchdown of the night. Is that correct, DB?
That is Sean Allison's 2nd touchdown of the evening, 5 yards out. And the Wolves go up 30-6 with 1:45 remaining in the first half of play. And that's what we were talking about earlier, how detrimental it would be to the Tigers if the Wolves got on the board before halftime once again.
And Drew Klopstein here looking really nice on the kicking end of things as he puts another one through a field goal and 4 extra points. And Drew Klopstein, the leading scorer of the squad. South Kitsap doing a very good job of spreading the ball around offensively. Everybody getting a chance to get their hands on the ball and get into the end zone.
Klopstein doing a really good job with the kicking department, nailing those extra points, not even being short or anything of that nature. And South Kitsap now leads 31-6 over Stadium with 1:45 remaining in the first half of play. South Kitsap is looking to get off to a good start with a big win here on their home field, Joe Knowles Field here. The first home football game of the 2008 football season. And D-Rod, it looks like so far that the Wolves are executing on offense and doing what they had planned to do.
And as a South Kitsap alum, I am really happy to see all these people out here tonight, the big community support, and very happy to see the football team looking like the teams that we're used to seeing where success at home is just kind of par for the course, and that's what we're used to seeing, and I'm glad to see that South Kitsap is doing as well as they are. You never want to see a romp, especially with young men or any other sport, young men or women, and it's tough to be on the Stadium side of things, but it's good to see South Kitsap doing as well as they're doing.
So Klopstein with the little kick, it's a squib kick up the middle. It's touched by Stadium, but they're just going to fall on it. Nice job by Stadium. That's probably the best thing to do in that situation, just to fall down on it instead of try and get cute and make something happen. Instead, do the smart thing and just go down right there and see what you can do in the last 1:43 of the first half.
South Kitsap doesn't want to kick it to one of their hands and speed guys to give up a touchdown or a good field position. They don't want to give Stadium any chance to put another score on the board before they go into half.
So Stadium looking to just hang on to the ball here.
Well, I think they might run some plays here, Coach.
They might. They're going to have to have a little time management here because they're probably going to try and keep the ball on the ground. South Kitsap has a couple of timeouts left. They're going to hand the ball straight up the middle to the fullback, and he gets up to the 28-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down for Stadium, and I don't think South Kitsap's going to look to call timeout. they're just going to let the clock keep running here. But
I would be surprised.
if Stadium gets down to a third down play here and they don't score or they don't get a first down, you just might see South Kitsap call a timeout here to stop it.
And it's kind of a gray area / fine line about whether or not you are securing the victory or piling on. And some teams get feelings hurt when they think that you're piling on, and I just hope Stadium doesn't get that impression.
In the wing T, row back under center. We're going to hand the ball off to the fullback, and he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. There's Brian Kuznick in there, coming in there in that defensive line with a bunch of the other Wolves right there. And they do not gain anything, maybe a yard on the play, and it's going to be third down for Stadium with about 40 seconds to go, but I doubt it if South Kitsap is going to try and stop the clock here. They've got a comfortable 31-6 lead going into halftime.
Well, once again, South Kitsap's defense doing a very good job of sniffing out the run, doing a great job of just not letting them get any opportunities to score, and we'll see if they can hold him here in the last play, so we think, of the first half.
It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Tigers as they hand the ball straight up the middle again to the fullback, and he's going to get across. They're going to have to stop it here with about 7 seconds left, 6 seconds left here. They get the ball up to Stadium, gets up to their own 35-yard line, but they're probably just going to let the clock run out here, and like we said earlier, South Kitsap's going to have a nice 31-6 lead. Pending any long touchdown runs or pass plays for Stadium. That I wonder if we'll see the old halfback pass like we saw earlier, but they didn't. They let the clock run, and South Kitsap is going to go in at halftime, leading Stadium in the home opener here at Joe Knowles Field, leading 31-6 over Stadium.
And Eric Canton, one of the South Kitsap coaches, giving number 13 for South Kitsap a nice pat on the helmet as he goes in. Number 13, Sean Korp.
So the Wolves have a comfortable 31-6 lead at halftime, and we are here at the end of the first half, and we're going to take a short break. So please enjoy the sights and the sounds of the South Kitsap High School Marching Band under the direction of Gary Grahams, and we will be back after this performance.
South Kitsap looking good in the first half. We'll see you after halftime.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's halftime show is brought to you by the South Kitsap Marching Band under the direction of Gary Graham. The band is under the direction of Drum Major Chris Cooper, Senior Drum Major Chris Cooper, and Junior Drum Major Paula Santos. Tonight, they will be performing 2 of 4 song selections from the rock band Styx, which include the hit song Mr. Roboto, which features junior trumpeter Andrew Kroc, and the medley AD 1928 Rock'em the Paradise, featuring senior trumpeter Alex Tudor. The drum majors would like to thank the school district for supporting the band, and parents, section leaders, and band members for their dedication and hard work in support of the band. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's halftime show, the South Kitsap Marching Band.
Welcome back to the second half of play here. The South Kitsap Wolves lead the Stadium Tigers 31-6 here at the home opener of the 2008 high school football season here at Joe Knowles Field. And the Wolves are being led by a whole host of players getting into the action as the Wolves are going to kick off to the Tigers. And the ball is going to be fielded, and it's going to be downed at the 10-yard line by number 7, Deshaun Dixon. And right away, the Stadium Tigers are going to be deep in their own territory to try and get something going on offense here, which they did struggle a little bit in the first half.
And South Kitsap not giving Stadium any breaks on special teams whatsoever here in this game. South Kitsap really holding them down. It's up to Stadium to try to fight their way out and try to fight their way back into this game.
South Kitsap coming out here to be on defense the start of the second half. And Stadium still backed up in their own deep in their own territory. The last time that happened, they were at their own half-yard line. They did manage to get out to about the 17-yard line, but the defense was just a little too much by the Wolves. So Stadium comes out in the wing T offense. They're going to send a man in motion, try and hand it off. They're going to go over right tackle. It is snuffed out. Nice tackle there by number 13, Sean Korf. They may have gained a couple on the play, and it's going to be second and long for Stadium.
I'll tell you, Sean Korf going into halftime with Coach Canton really psyched up, and coming out here in the second half really psyched up, making the first tackle of the half outside of special teams. And boy, Sean Korf may be somebody we need to take a look at here as a 5'7", 173-pound senior. Sean Korf. Number 13.
There was a gain of 2 on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and 8 for Stadium at their own 12-yard line. They send another man in motion, and Roback is going to pitch the ball off to the tailback. That's number 40, Justin McDonald, but a penalty flag comes flying out around the line of scrimmage, and that's usually in the area of holding, so we'll have to see what happens here as the official comes in, and he does, and it's going to be holding on the Stadium Tigers.
Well, Stadium, once again, trying to do their best to execute their offense, but it was really difficult to do that when you get some little bit of young mistakes here, holding call there. And I don't think this is like the NFL where you could call holding on every single play. I think the officials really do a good job of sifting that out and not letting players get away with as many holds as the college or pros. But that's just me talking up here in the booth. I'm just talking.
Well, that's going to be half the distance on that holding penalty, so they're going to scoot the Tigers back to their own 6-yard line. So it is going to be 2nd and 14 to go. So Stadium having a little bit of difficulty getting out of their own end zone area here, as they're now going to spread that offense once again. They're going to send out 4 wide receivers, 2 in the slot, as Roback is in the shotgun formation. They're going to send a man in motion. Looks like a little fumble on the play. Roback keeps the ball. He's going to roll to his left. His forward progress is going to keep him out of the end zone for a safety, and it's going to be at the 1-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd down and forever for Stadium now.
And if I'm Stadium, the first game of the season at South Kitsap's house, not a good way to start off the season. However, Stadium, shows you a lot of looks. They play another team first game of the season, or they get the ball rolling later on. They throw a lot of different things at people, and I think they could have some success with that offense.
Stadium coming out here. It's going to actually be 3rd down and 19 to go at their own 1-yard line. So they're going to come out and spread it out again. 4-man wide receiver core here. Roback is in the shotgun. He's got to be careful not to get sacked for a safety here. He's got a man out in the flat, and he's got a man wide open, or not wide open, but it was close to his hands. Good coverage by the Tigers, by the Wolves there. They get out near the 15-yard line, just over the fingertips of the intended receiver.
Number 30.
That's Duchesne for
the older Duchesne
for the Tigers, and it's going to be 4th down. And Stadium has got to be careful here. They're going to be punting. They're only going to have about 10 yards. The punter's going to be back in the deep part of that end zone. They're going to have to watch out for this safety right here.
And Duchesne, the senior, you can tell showing a lot of emotion there, wishing he had an extra step on that pass, so he could have reached out and grabbed it. You can really feel the emotion from some of these players, especially the seniors that are on the other end of the other end of the score of this game.
Stadium's going to have to get that kick out quick. Vazzari is going to have to make sure that he gets a quick kick off, and he does, and he kicks it away from the receiver. It's going to go out of bounds. It's not going to be a very far kick. We'll have to wait and see where the officials spot it on the sideline. They're still walking along the sideline here. It's not going to be much room, and the Wolves are going to have great field position as the ball is going to be spotted at the South Kitsap 18-yard line. So South Kitsap's first offensive possession is going to have it at their own, Stadium's 18-yard line, and it's going to be a really good field position here in the start of the second half for the Wolves.
Some definite some field position issues and some penalties that are coming back to affect the morale of the Stadium Tigers here as we get rolling here at the beginning of the second half. Early on, the Wolves have great field position.
Robert Issa is the tailback. Gordy Anderson's got a man out in the flat. Nice pass, catch, completion. That looks like number 11.
Mike Alonzo,
the 6'3" junior for the Wolves. And it's going to be a pass catch reception for about 4 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 6. So we see Mike Alonzo now in at receiver for the Wolves.
And Mike Alonzo can play. He deserves to be in there, and this is not garbage time. These guys are still playing.
In it, fullback is number 10, Zach Cruz. So the Wolves coming out with a lot of substitutions already. Anderson has the ball off to Issa. He stutter steps, gets hit hard, still goes off the right side of where the guard was, and he gets close to, he gets about maybe a gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and short for the Wolves, but they are in the red zone of the Tigers.
And Robert Issa showing some shifty side-to-side moves there. Remember seeing him play for Marcus Whitman a couple years ago, and he's sure developed into a nice back for the Wolves, getting some touches and some playing time here in this game. Number 62 for the Tigers, banged up on the play, Nathan Stiles, a 6-foot junior, but he's back up and in.
Leon Ladeau still split on the far side. Alonzo's in there. They're going to have the ball off up to the fullback straight ahead. That's Zach Cruz, the junior for the Wolves. He gets maybe about 1 on the gain. It's going to be 4th down and about, we'll call it 2 yards for the Wolves. So we'll see what they do, if they go for it or if they go for the kick.
Zach Cruz and the Wolves offense not fooling the Stadium Tigers that time, and they shut that one down. And decision time for the Wolves, 4th and 1.5, and they're going to go for it.
Back in at tailback is T.J. Rhodes. Robert Issa is in at fullback is T.J. Rhodes. Robert Issa is the tailback once again. Anderson under center. They're going to hand the ball off to Issa. He's got a little bit of block, and he stutter steps. He was twisted around, stayed on his feet, but he got nowhere. It's going to be very close, but I don't think that he got the first down. He's got down to about the 9-yard line.
Looked like the tackler on the play for Stadium got a hand on the ball, and Issa trying to keep his hand on the ball, doing a good job of concentrating, at the same time carrying him farther back behind the line of scrimmage and out of first down territory. The Wolves turn it over on downs, uncharacteristically, 4 and out. Well, not 4 and out. I believe they did pick up a first down there, but uncharacteristic for the Wolves not to punch that one in there. And once again, Stadium Tigers have the ball on offense, backed up to their own end zone.
The Wolves needed to get to the 8, and they only got to the 9, so the Tigers take over on downs as they're going to pitch the ball to the halfback running in motion, and Roback pitches the ball to the tailback. That looked like number 30, Grant Duchesne, once again, but nowhere on the gain. They may have gotten a yard. In fact, we're going to call it a gain of nothing, and it's going to be 2nd down and long, and Stadium's going to have to figure out something here. They won't be able to just run that ball. They're not gaining any yards out there.
And it's not like Stadium is rolling out a B-League football team here. These guys are a good team. I'd say that this, we can't say this enough, I'd say this South Kitsap defense looks as ready and as poised as any opening day South Kitsap defense I've seen in recent memory.
So the Tigers come out in that split 4 wide receiver formation. Roback drops straight back. He looks to his left. He's got a man. He's going for the home run ball, and he has a man wide open, but Roback overthrew him. He had a man, the intended receiver, that did look like Duchesne out there.
And you just feel it. Duchesne wants that ball. Roback had him, and the 5'11 junior just overthrows him a little bit. And Duchesne once again comes up with receiving yards on that play, and back to the huddle. Got to be a little bit frustrating for these guys.
The intended receiver was number 3, Nate Jenkins, and Jenkins had his man beat. He got down to his own 35-yard line, but Roback just overthrew him a bit. And it's an incomplete pass, and it's going to be 3rd and long. We're going to call it 3rd and 10 for Stadium as they are now back in the wing T formation. Row back under center. They're going to fake all these handoffs. He's going to roll to his right, but he's taken down quick. We'll see where they gave him the forward progress, and they did.
Wow.
The Wolves are just so close to getting a safety every
Again.
time. But he did not get it. And the ball is going to be down. Did he fumble the ball? No, I think it was just he just tried to roll out.
Well, they're switching sides. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
It's going to be a punt is what it is. It was 3rd down.
So it's 4th and 18, and they're going to punt the ball. Once again, deep in their end zone.
I think that's going to be another penalty on us up here in the booth.
Well, I'm just easily confused tonight. I'm a little rusty. I've got some cobwebs from my summer vacation. I'm trying to shake it out.
Well,
shake it off.
You know, all that time that you spent in Singapore and in the Eastern Lesser Antilles, kind of takes you out of your game here.
Yeah,
as the Wolves will field the punt. That's fielded by Jared Moore at the 30-yard line, and the Wolves will take over. And again, they're going to have excellent field position.
The Wolves, once again, getting good field position. We'll see what they can do here with the ball. We might see some more subs coming as we get near the halfway point of the 3rd quarter. It's 31-6. South Kitsap. They let Stadium stick around for about a quarter of this game, and then they really pulled away in the 2nd quarter to build a huge 31-6 lead. Right now, they're just kind of content with playing some tennis here with the Stadium, as long as they got them backed up to their end zone. Tit for tat, punt for punt.
Ryan Williams in at tailback. He gets the carry, and they fake it, and he's got a man wide open, and the pass is caught.
What?
It's going to be, did he catch it?
No.
I haven't seen a signal yet from the official, and
Incomplete.
they are calling it incomplete.
I think that was to Brad Fairweather, I think.
The intended pass receiver was Brad Fairweather, and it looked like he did come down with it, but obviously he did not have control when he hit the ground, and the officials called an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10, but boy, that was a close call.
Well, it's a nice pass and a nice almost catch from 83 Brad Fairweather, who, he had his hands on the ball, but it's tough to catch that ball when that ground is coming at you, and there's no give in that ground. So nice attempt from Brad.
Gordy Anderson,
nice throw.
Gordy Anderson with a great play fake there to the tailback Williams, and he had the man open, but Fairweather just had a hard time hanging on to it. Good effort, though. It's going to be 2nd long. They're going to pitch the ball to Williams. He goes off left tackle. There he goes, a little burst of speed. He leaps up, hurdles over a man, and he gets over the 20-yard line. And nice run by Williams right there. He landed on his own man. That was T.J. Rhodes.
Boy, he really did land on him, too. That was not pretty.
Williams hurdled over a would-be Tiger defender, and he landed right on his own fullback. That's Rhodes,
who was blocking ahead of him.
Who's shaken up just a little bit here. But
I wouldn't want Ryan Williams landing on top of me at top speed either. So hopefully T.J. Rhodes can. I bet he's got the wind knocked out of him. And you can get up and shake it off and get onto the sideline.
But going back to that pass play there, it was a great fake by Gordy Anderson, and he had a couple of wide receivers down the middle of the field. But the Wolves came up just a little bit short on the touchdown, and they are going to have a 1st down, as the Wolves are going to have the ball at the Stadium just inside. We're going to call it the 19-yard line, as Leon Ladeau, still in the game, splits to the far side of the field. Number 11, Mike Alonzo, still in the game for the Wolves. Ryan Williams in at tailback. Anderson 3-step drop fakes. He rolls out to his right, flush out of the pocket, throws it away. And we thought for a second it was maybe going to be intentional grounding, but it is not, because the ball was thrown in the area of number 75 for the Wolves, which is one of the tackles. That's Andrew Yepinche, and he was able to, it's an incomplete pass. Good heads up, though, by Gordy Anderson right there. Could have been a big loss on the sack, and instead it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Wolves.
The only thing I'd watch out for Gordy there is, if I'm Gordy, is to be careful not to get spiked right between the numbers. Guys coming at you, got 2 guys coming at you, and you want to throw the ball away, maybe get rid of it a little quicker. We'd hate to see the starting QB go down with an injury.
Well, I didn't see a penalty flag, but the Wolves are going to be backed up, and it's going to be 2nd and 20 for the Wolves. And they're going to hand the ball off to Ryan Williams on the counter, and he busts up the middle, and he cuts back the middle again, and he stays on his feet. He's just being hit by all these Tigers, but the Wolf stays on his feet, and he gets down inside the 10-yard line, down to the Stadium 8.
I'll tell you what, Ryan Williams, and we talked about this in the first half, if he gets ahead of steam going or if he gets some momentum behind him, he's a tough back to stop. The Wolves do throw a lot of backs at other teams. The Stadium Tigers are finding that out the hard way tonight, and Ryan Williams is certainly no exception. He just put his shoulders forward and went full steam ahead, and boy, he picked up a nice big chunk of yards there for the Wolves. That's a nice asset to have if you're a SK coach.
A great pickup there by Ryan Williams. And we're looks like an official's timeout here as time is stopped.
Looks like another equipment malfunction possibly on the, well, I don't know. You tell me.
I didn't, there we go. Now they start the clock running here with 5:25 remaining in the third quarter. South Kitsap leading 31-6 over Stadium, but driving once again as the Wolves come out in that power I formation. Rhodes and Galligan are in at the fullback, and they're going to hand the ball off to Ryan Williams. He gets a big block up front, keeps those legs moving, and Ryan Williams gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, South Kitsap, a 7-yard touchdown run by Ryan Williams.
Ryan Williams, tough to stop once he gets a head of steam going, and boy, proving that point for sure just now. He looking tough on that drive. It took him about a half to get warmed up to full speed, and boy, tough to stop. Nice job, Ryan Williams. 6 points for South Kitsap.
South Kitsap they started off with very good field position once again, and they were able to hang on to the ball, and without trying to jinx the Wolves, we're looking at no turnovers by the Wolves here in the game so far, and the Wolves are going for the extra point here. Drew Klopstein, and the kick is going to be up, and it is good. And South Kitsap now leads 38-6 over Stadium with 5:08 remaining in the third quarter of play. And D-Rod, we imagine we're probably going to see a lot of substitutions in this game, as the Wolves are going to try and get a lot of kids in there for a lot of playing time.
See some young guys coming in that were this time last year were playing junior high ball, and this time right now tonight they'll probably get some PT. The Stadium Tigers, unfortunately for them, have been unable to shake the score of 6 points off that scoreboard, and they've just been stuck there since they put their only 6 points on the board early on in the game tonight. And the Wolves doing a good job keeping them down. We'll see what the Stadium Tigers do from here on out. The Wolves probably, like DB said, going to put in some substitutions, see what these guys can do. It's nice for the coaches to be able to have the opportunity to see their subs in action with plenty of time left in the game.
South Kitsap going up another touchdown here, 38-6, 5:08 remaining in the third quarter of play, as Stadium has their two deep backs around their own 13-yard line. Klopstein doing the kicking duties for the South Kitsap Wolves this year, doing an excellent job in tonight's game.
He's scored a lot of points for him.
He has, and he kicks the ball off, and this one's going to go over the head, and it's going to go into the end zone.
Nice kickoff.
And in high school football, the rule is whether the ball is, if the ball is not touched, once it crosses that goal line, they cannot return it out of the end zone. It has to be down, and so the Stadium Tigers are going to have their first series, or their second series on offense here in the second half, and this time, D-Rod, they're going to have pretty good field position at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, and I'd say Drew Klopstein has done a very good job tonight, keeping, doing, I believe, what the special teams coaches want him to do, kicking the ball how they want him to kick it, and just doing a very good job. He was the first one to score, and scored 10 points tonight so far, I believe.
Stadium, the last couple of possessions have been deep in their own territory, down near their own 1-yard line, but they're going to have a little more breathing room here, starting at their own 20 as they come out in that wing T with one setback, and they're going to have the ball straight up. They're going to fake it. The quarterback is on the keeper, and South Kitsap is right there to stop it. Nice job by the defense to stay at home and execute on defense. They're going to lose about 3 yards on the play. It's going to be second and long for Stadium.
And check that, Klopstein with 8 points tonight, 5 extra points and 1 field goal. So good for Drew Klopstein. And, Quincy Lyman has really anchored that and nailed that kicking job down for the last 3 years for South Kitsap. And for a new guy to come in like Drew Klopstein and come in and just, fill those shoes quite nicely is refreshing for the SK coaching staff and the team, because it's nice to have a solid kicker on your side.
Stadium taking a knee. There is an injured player down on the field. Looks like a player from Stadium is down on the field over in the far side, near the 15-yard line, closer to the Stadium side. So we'll, as the coaching staff and the trainers for Stadium are attending to the young man. South Kitsap leading Stadium 38-6 here with 4:47 left in the third quarter of play.
At Joel Knowles Stadium.
At Joel Knowles Stadium on a beautiful evening of football. Had beautiful weather, nice bright sunshine skies, and it's turned into a beautiful evening. No wind. It's just a lovely evening here in Port Orchard, Washington, to watch some high school football.
Awesome crowd on hand. Very nice to see the people out tonight, and a very nice hand from the student section to give the young man, the injured Tiger, a hand as he comes off the field.
That's number 30, Grant Duchesne.
And boy, he's played his heart out tonight.
One of the key players for the Stadium Tigers, and he gets up and walks off on his own, rattled just a little bit, but glad to see that young man up on his feet. So Stadium's going to have a 2nd and 13 to go here from their own 17-yard line. They're going to have the ball straight up the middle, goes right off right guard, and he may have gotten a couple back. He's going to get back to the 20-yard line, and it's going to be third and back, about 3rd and 11 for Stadium, almost back to their original line of scrimmage.
Number 50, Tyler Hudson, in on the tackle there for South Kitsap. Boy, he's a quick defensive lineman and gets off the snap pretty quickly, and he's big part of the reason why Stadium's having a tough time tonight.
So the Wolves on defense here, trying to have a big defensive stop. Tigers come out. Roback is in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Once again, a popular set for him tonight. Roback looks for a man, and he's got a man right in the middle. Nice catch at the 35-yard line. And that is the wide receiver, Tyler Tryon. And Tryon with a big gain gets the ball, catches it around the 30, and he scoots forward for about another 8 yards. And actually for about another 7 yards. And the ball is going to be close to the 40-yard line. We're going to call it the Stadium 38. So a nice pass and reception there from Roback to Tryon, and Stadium is in business now.
Well, Stadium, once again, opening up that playbook. South Kitsap defensive line trying to get it on the quarterback, and he gets the ball over their heads, and nice gain for the Tigers.
The Tigers spread the offense out once again. Roback, he's going to fake the pass, and he's going to run up the middle, but good defensive stop there. Nice job on the defense. That's Brad Fairweather.
I'll tell you what, Brad Fairweather put a helmet between his numbers and just punished the quarterback from behind there. He really laid a hit on him. Brad Fairweather really playing quite a game tonight.
Brad Fairweather and also number 50, Tyler Hunson, the junior for South Kitsap, up there on that defensive line. So we get some Wolves in on the action. Also in there was number 55, Keith Gray. So good job by the Wolves there on defense.
I'll tell you, DB, this defense looks pretty in tune, pretty keyed up for this season. I like what I see tonight if you're on the South Kitsap side of things.
A couple of plays on first down. The Tigers aren't getting anything, and they're going to hand the ball off to the tailback going in motion. He stiff arms the defense, tries to cut up, and keeps his legs going. That's Nate Jenkins, the tailback for the Tigers.
Number 14, Greg Pickard, in on the tackle there, the junior for South Kitsap. Nice tackle after he has nice stiff arm from the runner for Stadium there.
And South Kitsap, number 24 also in there, Ricky Johnson, the junior. And but a nice pickup there by Jenkins as Stadium is going to come up. It's going to be about 3rd and 6 yards to go at the South Kitsap 43-yard line. So Stadium with another big third down play. The last third down play they had 3rd and about 11 and got the first down on about a 17-yard pass reception from Roback to Tryon. So they spread the field again once more, and they're going to send a man in motion. That's Duchesne. Looked like he may have cut up a little bit early, but he's got a man out in the flat. Oh, and Duchesne had hit him in his hands. He would have had the first down had he caught it. Duchesne had the pass in the flat at the 45-yard line, but he turned his head before he caught the ball, and the pass is incomplete, and that was a huge loss there for Stadium.
Well, looks like he bounced off a shoulder pad. Like you said, took his concentration off there for a second. Number 23, Sean Allison for South Kitsap, one of our star running backs, definitely not afraid to play some defense out there in the linebacker position for the Wolves.
So Stadium with a big 4th down play here. It's going to be 4th and 6, and it looks like they're going to go for it here. They're going to spread the offense a little bit more, get into that wing T set. They're going to send one receiver to the far side. a little mix-up in the backfield for the Tigers. They're going to send a man in motion. That's Duchesne. Roback's got Duchesne in the flat. Oh, and he's taken down. Nice defensive stop there by Issa. Excellent job by Issa on defense. Robert Issa gets out there in the flat, covered Duchesne the whole way. Duchesne did catch the ball, but Issa was right there to kind of trip him up, and the pass was complete, but Stadium will not get the first down, and South Kitsap will take over on downs. Good defensive stop there by the Wolves.
I'll tell you what, excellent defense from the Wolves there. You don't want to. It's pride for both sides. You don't want to give up anything, and the defense looks very good right now. I'd be interested to see how this defense matches up against Central Kitsap next week in Silverdale at CK.
Exactly, a big game next week against
huge.
the Central Kitsap Cougars at Silverdale Stadium at Olympic High School, as the Wolves are sending in all kinds of new substitutes here, and it's going to be an offsides, an illegal procedure. That is TJ Rhodes in at fullback, and he gets a little antsy there as we now have a new quarterback in for the Wolves, number 8, Ray Chico, the junior for the Wolves, and they're going to scoot him back for that illegal false start on the offense. And like we said, we're going to see a lot more substitutions in this game for the Wolves. So
number 11 again, Mike Alonso in at left side, wide receiver.
Chico with the handoff straight up the middle. Nice job there. That's number 28, the new tailback. Number 28 is Jordan Anderson, the junior for the Wolves. So getting a little bit of PT in here, some of the reserves for the Wolves, which is key for these guys, especially at the 4A level. Leon Ladeau still in at the game, splits to the far side of the field. Mike Alonso in the near side, split wide receiver in the I formation. Chico is going to hand the ball off to, again, that was Anderson, but the defensive line for the Tigers gets through there, and there's going to be a loss on the play, and it's going to be third down, and we're going to call it about 17 yards to go for the Wolves, as they are still in Tiger territory, but moving a little backwards more than forwards.
Well, Jordan Anderson coming in off the bench, maybe not 100% full speed right now. We saw some of the other guys earlier on in the game. Took him about a quarter to get warmed up. Ryan Williams' case, it seemed like it took him an entire half, which is, whatever it takes. These guys coming in on cold off the bench, they're ready to play, but sometimes not full speed.
That looked like number 10 for the Wolves is Zach Cruz, who got the quick hit up the middle, the handoff to the fullback. And Chico and the man couldn't get it done for the Wolves, but a nice job by some of the reserves coming in for their first playing time of the year.
Yeah, that's good to see the young guys coming in and getting some PT, and the coaches get to see what they can do. Parents, of course, and other family get to see these young men play out on the field and see what they can do. As the third quarter draws to a close, it's 38-6. South Kitsap with a commanding lead over the Stadium Tigers of Tacoma as we move into the fourth quarter. At a beautiful night out here, and so far for the South Kitsap Wolves, a beautiful season as they look to go undefeated at 1-0.
And what's been really nice is that the crowd here at tonight's game, nobody's left. Everybody is still here, so a lot of support for the South Kitsap Wolves by the community, parents, and staff, and the students, and just everybody. And it's just great to see everybody out supporting South Kitsap Wolves football once again.
And we'd like to also mention the fine performance from the South Kitsap Marching Band, is directed by Mr. Gary Graham's fine halftime performance tonight, as we do hear the band performing right now. And we talked about it a second ago, DB. Looking forward to next week's game against Central Kitsap, as it looks like this game is in hand. What can we look for as Central Kitsap graduated some star seniors, and South Kitsap looking for a little bit of vengeance as we play back-to-back years at Silverdale Stadium, Central Kitsap?
Well, I'm looking at a very tough football game. Central Kitsap has always enjoyed playing South Kitsap, and it's a big game for them. It's almost like their state championship, as the snap is a little bit high. Leon Ladeau back doing the punting duties. Kicked it from about his own 45-yard line. Looked like it went off the side of his foot.
I think he punted that to Coach Canton.
and Coach Canton almost caught it.
I thought Coach Canton was going to field it and run it in for the score.
I thought he was, but they probably would have flagged him for running in off of the sideline. And instead, Stadium is going to get the ball at their own 33-yard line. So a very short kick by Ladeau as Stadium comes back out, and we'll try and get something going here on offense as the Wolves trying to hold on defense. With 11:52 remaining left in the game, South Kitsap still leading Stadium 38-6 as they come out. The Tigers come out in the wing T format. They have try on split. They're going to hand the ball off to the up back. That's Duchesne. He doesn't get a whole lot. We're going to call it about 2 to 3 yards on the carry. He gets just inside the 35. We'll call it the 36-yard line.
You know, that's a nice play run there by the Stadium Tigers, and I think against a lot of other teams, that's going to go for 7, 8, possibly 10+ yards. South Kitsap so disciplined and so drilled and skilled. They don't give up a lot of yards on that play. That's a bang bang play, and they just immediately squash it. South Kitsap really ready on defense tonight.
Stadium with a 2nd and 7. We're going to call that a 3-yard pickup. Stadium with a 2nd and 7 here. It's going to be at the South Kitsap. We'll call it the 36-yard line. Stadium coming out in that wing T formation. They send Duchesne in motion. Roback's going to pitch the ball. They're going to run a reverse to try on, and he is stopped. Nice defensive play there by the Wolves. That's number 50. That's Tyler Hunson. And Tyler Hunson stayed home. They pitched the ball to the left, ran the reverse. They did not fool Hunson, and he was right there to shut the door on the Tigers' offense. Now,
Tyler Hunson may look 6'2", but the way he moved on that play, he certainly doesn't look his way to 260. He's quick as a cat, and boy, having him back, had some eligibility issues last year, and having him back is a big boost for the South Kitsap Wolves team.
So the Tigers are going to be way back. It's 3rd and 19 to go after the reverse try. And Roback drops straight back. He's being flushed out of the pocket by Brad Fairweather, who takes him down at about the 13-yard line. Nice job by Brad Fairweather on defense.
Is Brad Fairweather having a game tonight or what? Has he just grown up this year? I am just tremendously impressed with the play and the instinct and the quickness of Brad Fairweather tonight. Good for Brad.
Nice job rushing the quarterback. Roback was in the shotgun formation, dropped straight back, and Fairweather came running from the right side. Nobody blocked him, and Roback could not get away from him, and he dropped him for another big loss.
That's huge. God, that's just huge.
It's going to be 4th down and 31 to go for Stadium. They are at their own 14-yard line, and they're going to have to be real careful here to make sure that they don't have a bad snap or anything. Otherwise, the Wolves are probably going to have good possession, good field position anyway, and it's going to be offside. That is number 50, Tyler Hunson. So he makes a really good defensive stop, but just a little anxious there on defense to make another big stop.
He does get off the snap pretty quick, and he is used to, he not very often will you see number 50 offsides, and just the one-time thing. And he does like to get into the backfield, and he's got a good sniffer for the quarterback.
So instead of 4th down and forever, it'll be 4th down and a mile for the Tigers at their own. This one scooted up to the 18-yard line. It's a good snap. The kick is going to be up. It's going to be fielded on the left side, on the right side, near side of the field. Right there was Zach Cruz for the Wolves, but they let the ball bounce out of bounds. And it bounced back just a little bit towards the South Kitsap sideline. And the Wolves are going to have good field position once again at the Stadium 35-yard line. So we'll see what the Wolves reserves can do on offense as well.
And both teams, special teams punting to Coach Canton on the Wolves sideline. Interesting. Coach Canton, a former punter at the University of Washington Division I football school.
Chico still in at quarterback. They're going to hand the ball off to the tailback, who puts his head down. Nice run there by the South Kitsap tailback. We're looking for a number here. We're going to wait and see who that was. That looks like number 49, Michael Niner. And Niner gets a nice run there. And he is going to get inside the 30-yard line. We're going to call it the Stadium 29-yard line. So we have an official's timeout down on the field. So another new tailback in. Niner for the Wolves, and he gains about 6 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 4 for the Wolves.
Justin McDonald in for the Stadium Tigers at fullback.
Number 20,
Sorry, at linebacker.
Number 21, A.J. Espy, split to the far side of the field. Chico is going to hand the ball off to Niner once again, and he puts his head down, keeps his legs driving forward, and just like that, Niner with the carry.
Boy, he's quick.
Nice job by Niner, and he's going to have the ball down to the stadium 23-yard line where it's going to be first down for South Kitsap.
Yeah, Niner coming in here and keeping the momentum going for the Wolves offense. The Wolves threatening here again. The last thing Stadium wants to do is give up another score here for unfortunate consequence of defense.
Chico hands the ball off to Niner, but not this time. He's going to be down the forward progress as Stadium was right there. Nice tackle by the defensive line for Stadium. That looked like big number 76, Gus Langsey, and the big 6'4", 220-pound lineman who was right there to meet Niner this time.
Well, I say if the Wolves don't get the first down here, they let Drew Klopstein try to punch in a field goal here, see what kind of leg he's got from distance.
So it's going to be 2nd and 12 for the Wolves at their own 25. The quick hit right up the middle.
Wow.
There goes Niner. Niner.
Wow.
Was that Niner with the carry right there?
Let's find out.
No, it was number 10. That's what I thought. It was Zach Cruz. Cruz with
Wow.
the carry gets all the way down the quick hit. Stadium wasn't prepared for that quick hit with the fullback right up the middle. And Zach Cruz gets all the way down to the stadium. We're going to call it the 3-yard line. Nice run by Cruz.
Nice play call from the Wolves coaching staff.
So South Kitsap in the red zone once again, threatening to score here. Chico is going to hand the ball off to, this time it's Anderson, and he puts his head down and he's going to go into the end zone. That's number 28, Jordan Anderson, and he gets in for the touchdown. Touchdown, South Kitsap.
Wow, South Kitsap looking really good on that offensive possession. We know these are their subs, but just knowing that they can plug in whoever they want from the depth chart into the system, and it works still like clockwork. That's a good sign for the team, and that's just good coaching.
South Kitsap putting up some more points on the board here as they now lead 44-6 with 7:23 left here in the game. Awaiting the extra point, Drew Klopstein once again going for another kick, adding another point to his point total. Sean Korf is the holder. The snap is back a little high. Wasn't able to get it down. They're going to have to throw it in there, and Korf does a good job of just throwing it away.
That was a smart play from Korf. Just get it out of there.
Not trying to get cute or anything, but South Kitsap still has a big lead. 44-6 here with 7:23 left in the game, and I think you can almost call this now the game for the South Kitsap Wolves.
Well, the only thing I'd worry about if I was the Stadium Tigers is giving the ball back to the Wolves, because obviously there's no let up from the Wolves. I mean, they're not just going to take knees here for 7 minutes, and they still got to play some defense, and it is about pride, and you got to play the whole game. You don't come here to play 3 quarters, and hopefully the Stadium Tigers can keep their heads up. There's some young men over there that I'm sure want some playing time, and they'll be out here on the field, and we've seen good sportsmanship on both sides of the ball, and I hope that keeps up the rest of the way here.
And South Kitsap, despite a lot of their dominance on the field, has met a lot of resistance by Stadium. Stadium's a very good football team. They just haven't had some of the breaks go their way.
And you know, they've had some unfortunate calls. First game of the season, we've seen a lot of that. And one more thing about that, DB, is in years past, the first games of the season, we've seen a lot of penalties against South Kitsap, along with whoever opponent we play here in the season opener, the home opener. This year, I think that we have seen, how many flags have we seen against South Kitsap this game? 2 or 3?
Very few.
This is by far the most disciplined season opener we've seen for South Kitsap. There's been a lot of bests for South Kitsap this year on this home opener, and I think this bodes well for the future, the immediate future of South Kitsap football.
South Kitsap with a commanding lead here, 44-6. As we're going to have a new kicker in for the Wolves as well, and that's number 93, Isaiah Davis, who had a big 75-yard kickoff return earlier for the Wolves, who is also an excellent soccer player and basketball player, and he's showing his great football skills as well. Nice kick. It's going to be fielded over there at the 20-yard line by Stadium. That's number 7, Deshaun Dixon, and Dixon has a nice return of about 20 yards from all the way to his 40-yard line. So a nice return by Dixon. And Stadium, this is going to be some of the best field position they've had all game.
So we've seen a punt from Leon Ladeau, number 9, the receiver, and cornerback. And we've seen a kickoff from number 93, Isaiah Davis, the kickoff returner. So, yeah, some interesting things here tonight as the Wolves mix it up with job opportunities for their players in different positions. That's good that you've got a multifaceted team.
Roback comes out. They're going to hand the ball off to, and he's hit hard. Nice hit there. Gosh. That's number 50. That's Tyler Hunson again, the big defensive lineman. Boy, he's getting some big hits tonight on the Stadium Tigers.
Boy, they're hitting hard and they're wrapping up, and they're this South Kitsap defense is all business. They are not fooling around. That doesn't matter how much time is left in what quarter. As long as the as long as the ball is snapped, they're going for it. And boy, I'm just really impressed with the hard hitting of this South Kitsap defense.
Nate Jenkins had the ball and was going off right guard, and Hunson was right there and put him down quick as Roback's going to hand the ball off to the tailback. That's number 25, Kendall McNeil, the sophomore for Stadium, and he dances his way out close to that first down near midfield.
Well, nice play from Stadium. It's good that Stadium's still staying in the game, playing the game. South Kitsap giving up some yards there. Not really the characteristic of the night. South Kitsap has done a very good job of keeping Stadium from putting up big plays on the field, and that's one of the things of football is you want to get big plays, and Stadium hasn't been able to do that tonight except for once.
Stadium is going to have a 3rd and short. We're going to call it 3rd and 1,
and they're going to call a timeout.
They didn't like what they saw, so they're going to call a timeout here to make sure that they get it right.
And now Stadium's at the 50. They have a chance to put some points on the board. You don't. You've got a whole season left to go here. They don't want to just throw in the towel or give it up. They want to, try to go in and score at least one more time before the end of the game and keep South Kitsap off the board and make the score look respectable in the paper tomorrow.
Other than a couple of big plays by the Wolves, even though the Wolves have done an excellent job on offense, Stadium has done a good job too, but like we said earlier, they just don't seem to be able to cut some of those breaks to get that ball into the end zone or get points on the board.
South Kitsap has they've got a couple of big plays. The big kickoff return from Isaiah Davis. The overall play of the defense. The discipline on offense, keeping the ball on the ground. Just an overall dominating performance from the Wolves. Even though the Stadium has played a good game, I just think that speaks to the how good the Wolves are possibly this year when we play a team like Stadium. And boy.
So the Tigers go with the quarterback sneak right up the middle. Roback keeps it on the carry, and he gains more than a yard that is needed for the first down. And Stadium is going to be in Wolf territory. We're going to call it the Stadium will have the ball at the South Kitsap 43-yard line. So Stadium is on the move here.
Well, South Kitsap giving up some yards here. We'll see if they get it up to the 20 or 30. I think we'll probably see a timeout from possibly the Wolves coaching staff and see, hey, settle down, boys.
They send Duchesne in motion. They're going to pitch the ball.
Oh.
That's to McNeil. Oh, and he slips as the defender came up to him. That was number 25, Kendall McNeil, and he was heading left, cutting outside, tried to stop, change directions, and cut inside, and his footing just gave out. And but it looked like that the Wolf defender would probably have taken him down right there anyway. So a gain of about, we're going to call it 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 7 for Stadium at the South Kitsap 30. We're going to call it the 41-yard line.
Unfortunately for Stadium on the last play, their quarterback screened off by his own back in the backfield and found himself on his keister there.
Stadium with the ball. They're going to hand the ball straight up the middle. That's number 3, Nate Jenkins, but he is going nowhere. There was maybe a gain of about 3 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd and about 5 for the Tigers. They tried to mix it up there a little bit there in that wing T formation, but the Wolves were not fooled and stayed home. Just
a no-can-do situation there for the Stadium Tigers. They try to go up the middle once again. South Kitsap pouncing all over that, not allowing any sort of long-term success for the Stadium Tigers tonight on the ground up the middle, and Stadium's going to be forced to go somewhere else with that ball.
4:48, the clock is ticking. This is probably 2-down territory for Stadium as Roback's going to hand the ball off to McNeil. He follows his blockers and he puts his head down, and he is going to be very close to that first down marker. The ball is down. They were signaling like there was a fumble on the play, but the official said he was down. And it's going to be 4th and short. We're going to call it 4th and 2 for Stadium, and I would imagine that they're going to go for it here, D-Rod.
Oh, yeah, they're going to go for it. I mean, why would you punt in this situation? You want to give your offense some confidence. You want to get a first down here, and like I said earlier, put the ball in the end zone. You want to give your players something to work with for practice going into next week's game.
So we're coming up on 4 minutes left here in the game. South Kitsap still leading 44-6. Stadium is going to go for it. They're at the South Kitsap 35-yard line. Roback, and they are going to draw the defense offside.
Yeah,
and
I don't think the offensive line moved on that one. I think that was defense.
They won't have to snap the ball on this. They're going to get the automatic first down there with the breakdown of the Wolves defense, and it's going to be an automatic first down, and they'll start the ball at the South Kitsap 30-yard line.
And, of course, as soon as I mentioned the discipline and the lack of penalty calls against the home team, South Kitsap, of course, a penalty against South Kitsap.
You jinxed him, D-Rod.
I shouldn't have said a darn thing. I should have kept it to myself.
I think we're going to call another penalty on that one, so I've only got 2, but you're up to 3 now.
I have 3 penalties up here in the booth tonight, and I'm not happy with that. So
Stadium will have a first down at the South Kitsap 30-yard line. Roback still in at quarterback in the wing T. They're going to send Duchesne in motion, hand the ball off to Jenkins. Jenkins squirts off the right guard, inches his way forward almost near the 25. Probably gained about 4 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 6 for Stadium.
You think Stadium's content with keeping the ball on the ground and running the clock down, or are they going to go for a touchdown, do you think?
I think that they're just doing a good job of ball control right here as we're nearing 3 minutes left here in the game. Doing a good job there running the ball with Jenkins and Duchesne. So Stadium doing an excellent job here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get into the end zone before this game is over. So stay in that wing T offense. And they're going to send Tryon split to the near side of the field. Roback sends a man in motion. That's Duchesne. He's going to stop, hand the ball cut right up the middle, puts his head down, runs over his own man. I think he did get the first down. And Stadium is going to be, they're in the red zone now. They're going to be marked down at the South Kitsap 18-yard line.
Taking Stadium a little bit to warm up here. And finally at the end of the game, the 4th quarter, they're looking like they might be able to punch the ball in for a score here and see if South Kitsap's defense can lock them down here and keep them out of the end zone.
So South Kitsap on defense here. They're not gaining huge numbers at a time, but the defense still in there trying to hold them. And with 2:26 remaining, Stadium is going to have the ball just inside the 20-yard line. We're going to call it at the South Kitsap 19. They're in that wing T. Roback is going to hand the ball off to Jenkins. He's got some running room, tries to go through a couple of Wolves defenders, but he's not going to go very far. That's number 33, Robert Issa, on the stop over there for the Wolves. And it's going to be about 2nd and 6 to go. Still, though, the Tigers gaining 4, 5, 6 yards at a time on offense.
Tigers doing a good job here in the 4th quarter. Proving their ground game can be effective and different than what we've seen all game.
Coming up on 1:45 left here in the game, they're going to hand the ball off to the tailback. That's Jenkins. He stutter steps, finally cuts up field, gets near the 10-yard line.
Jenkins is touching the ball every time.
Jenkins has done a real good job of running the ball there for Stadium as number 58, Cody McBride, the junior tackle for South Kitsap, now comes into the game as time is really winding down here. Stadium not in a hurry to stop the clock at any time with 1:15 remaining here in the game. Still trailing 44-6, but trying to get some points on the board. Probably be a good booster for their morale to try and get that ball into the end zone before the game is over.
Oh, absolutely. They want to score here. There's no doubt of that. And we'll see if Jenkins gets the ball again. Is that Jenkins who's been touching the ball this whole time here, Coach?
Roback is in the shotgun, and he is looking for a man out in the flat. That's Duchesne with the intended reception. He was in the flat. He would have had the first down, but the pass was incomplete. And it's now going to be 4th down for the Tigers And this is going to be a key play right here with only 50 seconds remaining in the game.
Well, the stadium is obviously going for a score here. It's 4th down, and if they don't get it here, the Wolves are going to take a knee, and this game will be over.
So Stadium coming out here, it's going to be 4th and 2 as they will go for it here. And the ball is at the South Kitsap, we're going to call that the 11-yard line. They need to get to the 9. They are in that wing T formation. They send Duchesne in motion to the far side of the field. They hand the ball to the up back, and he will have enough for the first down, and he keeps going.
Denzel Martin
with the carry gets down to the South Kitsap 3-yard line, where Stadium is going to have a 1st and goal with 43 seconds left, and they just might get into that end zone after all.
And it wouldn't hurt me if they got in the end zone. As far as the game is mostly over. It'd be good for these young men to put an extra score on the board. At the end of the game, they're in no threatening position to defeat the Wolves here tonight. They played a hard, tough game. You can tell that they've left a lot of emotion out there on the field, and it wouldn't be a bad thing for them to put a score on the board here.
Well, Stadium is going to call a timeout here. They will have a 1st and goal at the South Kitsap 3-yard line. 39 seconds left remaining here in the game as they are knocking on the Wolves' door here. But South Kitsap has a comfortable 44-6 lead, and they will be on their sure way to a victory here over the Stadium Tigers for their first football game, and they will start the season 1-0, which is a big morale booster for this team.
Oh, yeah. Stadium, maybe not the toughest opponent to start off with, but we got to give these young men a lot of credit. South Kitsap has got a tough schedule ahead of them, and they will definitely have their work cut out for them the rest of the way, and we'll see how that turns out. We've got Central Kitsap next week, and then in 3 weeks from tonight we have Gig Harbor. So big games for South Kitsap and a big schedule.
Here go the Tigers. They're going to hand the ball up. No, and he's stopped in the backfield. Nice defensive stop there. Excellent defense. That looks like number 56 for the Wolves. That was Casey Muller who was in there. Looked like a Tiger was shaken up on the play, but good job by the defensive line for the Wolves, as it looks like Stadium has called their last timeout of the half. And with 29 seconds left, they would really like to get the ball into the end zone from there. But like you were saying, D-Rod, next week is a big game for the South Kitsap Wolves, already playing one of their strong rivals. They will be playing at Central Kitsap at Silverdale Stadium next Friday night. And
Coach Mark Keel for Central Kitsap always has that team ready. Last year was a shootout for the first 3 quarters, and Central Kitsap ran away with it at the end. And boy, I'll tell you what, with the way the defense looks tonight, there's going to be some hard hitting going on next weekend at Silverdale Stadium. I would behoove any fan of football to be in Silverdale next Friday night for that inter-county matchup between South Kitsap and Central Kitsap. That'll be a good game. That'll be a game of the week type of game.
So it'll be 2nd and goal here with 29 seconds left in the game for Stadium. They spread the field, and Roback looks for a man, and he it's almost caught. It just was barely over the head of the intended receiver for the Tigers, and it's going to be 3rd and goal after the incomplete pass with 25 seconds left here. It'll be 3rd and goal for the Tigers at the South Kitsap 3-yard line.
And South Kitsap almost giving up a TD there. That's a nice little play. I'll guarantee you when Stadium looks at the tape here of this game, they'll of course look at the mistakes of the first 3.5 quarters, but they'll for sure look at this last drive as a building point, as a positive area where they can build upon and have some success this season.
Roback under center for the Tigers. Then Duchesne in motion. They're going to pitch the ball to Duchesne. He fumbles it as he goes, and he's taken down. Nice tackle there on defense.
Face mask.
That was number 25, Mike Shea for the Wolves, but I think he's going to be flagged with a face mask. Came flying in, but the hands look like they got just a little bit too high there on the tackle, and it's going to be a personal foul face mask, so half the distance and move it from the 3-yard line down to probably about the 1.5-yard line for Stadium.
Yeah, that's a personal penalty against the Wolves. Face mask will be 1st down for the Tigers. We'll We'll see if the student section can keep can help the Wolves defense keep these Stadium Tigers out of the end zone here at the end of the game.
And Shea did a nice job, but just a little too high. They're going to hand the ball off to number 26. Nope, that's Martin once again.
Drove back to the 5-yard line. No timeouts left, and the Wolves are going to keep the Stadium Tigers off the board here at the end of the game.
Stadium is scrambling, trying to get a snap off here before it happens. 3, 2, 1, and I think they're going to get it. They were. The time the clock goes off, there is a penalty flag. And I think that there was going to be, I think the penalty is going to be on an illegal procedure call against Stadium. And if that is the case, they will not run another play because you can only do that on a defensive penalty, but if it's an offensive penalty, they shouldn't run another play. But it looks like that they are going to.
The penalty against South Kitsap, I'm guessing, on this, so they'll get another play out of the deal for Stadium.
I think they're going to call.
It's like the pro rules where you can't end the game on a penalty type thing.
Well, if it's on offense, it's not supposed to be. The game is supposed to be over, but obviously in high school football, it looks like they're going to let Stadium run one more play. It was an illegal procedure play, and it is. That's what I thought. When you have an offensive penalty at the end of the game, you cannot run another play. If it was defense, they would. And with that, the game is over. And in the home opener, the season opener for the South Kitsap Wolves in the 2008 high school football season, South Kitsap defeats the Stadium Tigers 44-6 here at Joe Knowles Field for their first victory of the year.
What a game for the Wolves on both sides of the ball. Really impressed with the defensive aspect of things. Great coaching and, boy, hard hitting and some surefire discipline with that South Kitsap Wolves defense. We'll look forward to next week at CK at Silverdale Stadium in Silverdale, Washington for week number 2 of South Kitsap football.
We'd like to congratulate both teams for a hard-fought football game here and some good high school football playing as the players are walking out near midfield, shaking hands as they go along. And the South Kitsap Wolves are victorious here over Stadium 44-6. We'd like to extend our congratulations to head coach DJ Sigurdsson and his coaching staff for an excellent first win of the season. And as D-Rod was saying, we will see everybody, hopefully everybody, next week at Silverdale Stadium as the South Kitsap Wolves travel to play the Central Kitsap Cougars. And again, D-Rod, it is going to be a big battle.
And again, DB, it's been a pleasure of mine to be in the booth with you here tonight. We'd like to thank Mike Downham in the video production department for giving us the opportunity to call tonight's game. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and next week South Kitsap is at Central Kitsap for a big rivalry game in the Narrows League. So for D-Rod, this is DB, and we will see you guys in a couple weeks, and thanks for joining us here tonight.
Drive safely.